Like the face of a sunflower?
Where are the spirals?
You see this math everywhere.
Welcome back to the Gnostic Informant, and you are about to attain true gnosis. Joining me today is somewhat of an opponent. I don't want to make it too debatey, but I really want to get to the bottom of some of this stuff. Maddie, you have a YouTube channel. You're a fan of Amon Hillman, like part of his core circle. How long have you been following Amon Hillman for?
Probably since 2023.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Oh, so even we were friends then. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you have any thoughts on anything before I start, asking you stuff or anything you want to say?
First off, I I want to say I'm not here to make you look stupid or cause any sort of ill intent. However, I do stand as some sort of ambassador for Lady Babylon in the congregation when I speak. And I know that you're profiting from my patience, so I don't want to waste any time. And
What do you mean by that,
and
profiting from your patients?
that you are making money from this conversation. But
Yeah, that's what I do
I
for a living. It's like Amon Hillman makes money off selling Greek for a living. Like he teaches Greek for a living. What's the difference? Is there something wrong with someone else making money? But you just is it or is just Amon telling you that people who make money are somehow tied to some
so
brothel? Except for him, he can make money though. It's okay if he does it.
so my view on this, which I understand. When I was a yoga teacher, I thought, I was getting really burnout on, everything's a business. I need to manifest abundance, all of that. And I took a whole summer to just teach classes for free. Because if it's authentic, it should be
That
free for
must be nice.
everyone.
Some people get kicked out of
So
their apartments. It must be nice to be able to do stuff for free. Some people have to work, or they get kicked out
sure,
and they're
sure,
homeless.
sure.
You must be very fortunate that you can live in a house for free and do classes free. It doesn't make you a better person because you have that fortune.
No,
It
no.
makes you
And
privileged. You just don't even recognize it.
it is a privilege.
Yeah,
It,
exactly. Other people
so,
have to make money in this world, so there's nothing wrong with that.
okay.
Okay. But let me just ask you, I just want to find out if you're a fraud or not, real quick. It's a quick question. Can you tell me the definite article for feminine, nominative, feminine, plural?
Nominative, feminine, plural, a definite article. Nominative, feminine. So the nominative article, the definite article,
Just the word the, plural.
the,
They, them, they, them,
um,
and feminine.
and the feminine is hey,
This is basic.
hey,
Just
hey,
day one, basic.
hey.
I mean, you did do the whole Greek intensive course in speed running and world record
I
timing.
did, yeah, yeah. My intent is not to really,
I'm not going to try to make you stupid. I'm just trying to find out where you're at. And if you don't know the definite articles, I can't trust you that you're speed running through Greek the way you're telling people. This is the word the. The definite article means the. Ho is the. Hey is the.
hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Maybe you just don't know that yet. All right, it's fine. Maybe you're having a brain fart. I'm not here to do this. I actually want to get into your post.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I was, I can sit here and go, can you count 1 to 10 in Greek? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But it is important to know counting for the source that I'm going to bring up, which is how to count like 1 through 20. For example, like if you know the word 20, which is akosi, then this source, that the source about the neonisko should come easy. It there shouldn't be any confusion. Before I even get to what the source that I'm going to get to, I want to pull up your is this one Satan? Is this the right one? It's the wrong one. Yeah, we're just going to go through these. We're going to go through these because I'm sorry, I'm just going to be completely honest. Either you're really delusional on some of these, or you're lying to people. Or and if you're delusional, I feel bad that I'm even doing this right now. But if you're lying to people, we're going to find out because there's a lot of bullshit on here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So this one right here, the apostles were children. This was a response to me, I'm guessing, right? Maybe not.
No, that one was just factual because we've been collecting all this information.
Where'd you get this information from?
From the sources.
What source? Can you name one source?
I'm saying we've been collecting this information in the Soma Library, and we've
name one of them. You put this on you're teaching people this. You're an ambassador of Lady Babylon. Name one source that says this, that the Gospels call neoniskos a term for sexual maturity.
Okay,
small.
Go ahead and look in your LSJ. Here, I have the LSJ. Let's take a look.
LSJ? You want to do LSJ for neonisko?
The LSJ for neonisko. Let's take a look.
Okay.
You want to race to it?
Yeah, I can get to it. Here, I got to do.
If not neoniskos, neanias at least.
Neanias is a different word.
It is, but it's the same root, doesn't it?
But aren't you guys arguing from the diminutive? Isn't it makes it smaller? Is that what isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah. So the argument is that the iskos stem ending makes it smaller, but neanias, which means like young man, the iskos specifically is referring to like what is 5 to 10 or something like that. So
that's just a false. That's just lies. Either you're delusional, you don't know this, or you just lied right there. It was one or the other. There's not a single primary source. There's not a single primary source in antiquity that says neonisko is 1 to 5. Zero. You want me to show you the ones that actually tell us ages? I actually have a whole bunch of them that give us the ages. Here's one right here. In fact, let's not even look at the English. Let's pull up the Greek. Let's do some Greek, right? Let's where's my screen? I took a couple screenshots of this. This is from Diogenes Laertius. It's somewhat contemporary with the Gospels. And I just gave you the word for the number 20. I literally said, if you can count to 1 through 20, you should be able to read this. This is very beginner stuff. Akosi, which I just shared the wrong screen again. Okay, hold on. Akosi, right here. Diogenes Laertius, he says, Pais akosi atia. You know what atia is, right? Maybe you don't. This is not like a gotcha. It means years. Bio means life, of life. We're talking about kaiton to anthropon, talking about the ages of life for humans, genitive right here. Anthropon. Yeah. Well, what does that say?
Neoniskos ekosia.
Ekosi. 20 years, not 1 to 5. So if I'm bringing you guys primary sources, that tell us what a neoniskos is, where's the ones that you guys are providing that say it's 1 to 5? Or Alman Hillman says it's prepubescent. Where's the source for that? There's not any.
Herodotus.
Herodotus? I think I have Herodotus.
Okay.
Probably pull Herodotus up. Let's see. Herodotus. What does Herodotus say about neonisko? Here we go.
Cool.
He says right here. He says paragomenos to neoneo, and it's in the form of that's in the dative, and he says deutera apostele epioton. And so he's talking about Lycophron being sent away as a messenger. He calls him a young man. Now, why is this interesting? Lycophron's a grown man leading armies. He's being called a neonisko here. Here's another. Here's the same
But
source.
how do you know he's a grown man?
Because I read Herodotus. We know who Lycophron is. He's one of them. He's mentioned all the time. He's like Lycophron of Corinth. He's this. He's the son of Parander. He's young. He's probably in his 20s. He's not an old man. He's not a child. He's not a 5-year-old leading armies.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
mean? I do have a question. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about the argument of, like John coming up to the nipple and Peter being the oldest at 19? What do you think about that?
So John in the Gospel of John, I've talked about this on podcasts. I've talked about this all the time. John is very, very young, probably the oldest out of all the apostles. Fair game to talk about John being on the bosom of Jesus. There's all these famous paintings. This is not a hidden thing that Ammon discovered, by the way. This has been talked about for centuries by even Christians themselves will admit this, that in the Gospel of John, the beloved disciple is a young, let's say like 12 or something. I don't even know. It doesn't tell us, but he's clearly very young, and he's hanging on the side of Jesus, and he's hanging out, and he's laying on his bosom, and he's described as the disciple that Jesus loved. Fair. Let's all dig into that. You guys should be digging into that all the time. I've no problem with that. I'm not defending anything. That is weird to me. It is kind of crazy that Jesus has a young...
The text was that he was sitting on top of his lap and the top of his head reached up to his nipple.
Yeah, no one denies this. No one denies this.
But he was the youngest.
It's not like an Ammonite discovery. Everyone knows about this.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. But Peter being the oldest, based on the information of the tax, right? So Jesus being taxed, and then, this guy, Peter, he looks like a grown man. But everyone else has with him children, right?
Yeah, no, I'll grant, let's grant John's a child. I don't care about that. He might be a child. There's a good case to be made that John's a child, especially in the Gospel of John. But not all. You can't say all 12 of these kids are little babies. That's just what which is what tells people. I actually kind of knew this was going to come up, so I got some sources prepared for this exact topic. Matthew 4. Jesus, what does he do when he finds Peter? What is Peter and his brother Andrew doing? They're casting nets in the sea. They're fishermen. Is that a 5-year-old? Huh?
Fishing men.
They're fishermen. Yeah, this is like, I mean, maybe teenagers can fish, sure. But we're not talking prepubescent children going out by themselves into the sea where they're going to die because they don't know what they're doing and they're children.
No, they were with their father anyway.
Doesn't say anything about them having a father. Just says Jesus came up to these fishermen and he says, follow me, I'll make you fishers of men. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna probably love that translation. But yeah, he and then two lines down, he sees two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and John. And what are they doing? They're also in boats casting their nets. He's literally going out to fishermen who are of age to go out and fish. These aren't little babies. These aren't prepubescent children. I got more. I can show you. There's more. Let's keep going. That's 4 out of 12 right there who aren't prepubescent children. 4 out of 12. What do we got for Matthew 9? Matthew 9. He comes up to this guy named Matthew, and he says, "What's Matthew doing?" He's sitting in a tax collector's office. A little baby doing tax. He's a tax collector. And then it says, Jesus was reclining at the table. Many tax collectors and sinners came and began dining with Jesus and his disciples. Why are you sitting with tax collectors and sinners? They're talking about Matthew. They're talking about Alphaeus as well. There's another one in Mark where he says, tax collector 2. I got it in my notes here. The guy Alphaeus, which some people think is Matthew. That's fine. We can agree to that. Matthew is Alphaeus, also in the tax as a tax collector. So that's 5 at least out of 12 who we've already established are older. I'm granting you John is probably the youngest. But like the idea that these are all babies, all prepubescent babies who are all eunuchs is just not there in the sources. And the data says otherwise.
Interesting.
What else did you say? You said, I'll share my source. The Satan one. We got to get to the Satan one too. That one's just ridiculous.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, you want to do that one? Well, let's finish this Neonisco one first,
Sure.
if you don't mind. Okay, so Neoniscos is a prepubescent or just pubescent male. Where is it? You said according to Philo of Alexandria, it doesn't imply an age, but a biological maturity. Puberty is that phase when reproductive organs begin working. We all know it's pretty between 10 to 13, 5th to 8th grade, blah, blah, blah. You said it would imply size 5 to 13. Well, that's interesting because I actually have Philo. Philo doesn't say that at all. Philo says, if I can go to Philo now, Philo literally says, where is it? I could probably just do a word search for Philo. Polybius, Aristotle. Here's Philo. Philo says right here, he literally gives us the ages. Philo of Alexandria. By the way, you guys need people watching this. He's living decades before the Gospels are written. He's a Jewish author who's writing in Greek. You cannot get a better source for defining Neoniscos than Philo. And what does he say? Tetrachikes hepta.
At Porphyry and Timotheos 1107 dropped $9.99.
I'll save these for later because I know you don't want
I'm
to
a pagan and an
deal with
Indo-European
them.
autodidact.
Thank you for
I
the
think
super
you
chat.
and Ammon might both be right. I can have a real linguistics discussion, and I am not eating out of Ammon's palm.
Look,
Get me on.
if you still think Amon Hellman is being honest and truthful at this late in the game, I don't think very highly of you. But I'll just leave it at that. Okay, what is you just cited Philo in your report, saying Philo says it's between 5 and 13. But literally, when you go to Philo, he literally says up to 30. He says 21 to 30. You can read. You want to read the Greek, or do you want? I mean, you can read it if you want. Right here.
Yeah. Up to 30. Up to. This still doesn't take away the fact that Jesus was calling his disciples his little lammies, and treating them as children and being kind of a creepo.
Fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
So,
But just be honest. We just got to be honest about the data. We can't just say Philo says they're up 5. It's 5 to 13. When Philo literally says tris hepta neoniskos akris oxesios ulo to somotas bodily esta tetrakis hepta.
yeah.
He's saying appearance up to he says adolescents have facial hair up to 21, and then neoniskos. Just ignore this Greek for a second. I'll even delete it just for the sake of argument. Neoniskos, he says, is up to 28. It doesn't get any clearer. He literally says he gives you the chart. Paidion. We all know that's infant. Pais, child. Merakion, adolescent. Then Neoniskos. The idea that Neoniskos would be the youngest. Why would there be three stages before Neoniskos? And then finally you're an heir after you turn like 30, according to Philo.
Yeah, and there's definitely 30. But yeah, I don't know. It's
All right. You got this is a medical text. This should be right Ammon's alley, Hippocratic corpus. I know he tried to rebut me when I brought this up to Witch Doctor, but he actually never did. He just gaslit his audience. He totally sideswipes it. He tried to tell his audience that this is to do with ages of puberty, but that he's actually full of shit because he actually literally says years right here. A tone, years. He doesn't say months or stages. He says years. Kai, paidion, men, estin, akris, hepta. A tone of years. That's a genitive plural. Genitive plural. A tone of years. And then when you get to Neoniskos, he says, akris, oxesios, holo, tu, somatos, ta, tatrikas, hepta. Up to 28.
So we can agree then that would be like 21 to 28.
Yeah, I'll even meet you halfway and say Neoniskos is anyone who's over puberty.
Okay.
I don't care. To me, it could be but I would say this. I would preface it with this. Thank you for the super chat again, but I'll get to it later.
Is chasing skirts. But the gods use us all for their own purposes.
Thank you for that.
This woman is boring, dude.
No, she's not boring. Look, I'm going to stop being rude because you're sitting here and you're putting yourself out there. I actually have a lot of respect for what you're doing right now.
Yeah, who else has the balls?
No, you're absolutely right. I shouldn't be so. I can't. I'm a little fiery, but I'm passionate about the sources. I'm passionate about the truth. That's why me and Ammon couldn't be friends, because I see what he's doing as wrong, borderline evil, lying to people. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about Ammon. I'm going to talk about the sources. What was I just saying before that? Oh yeah, I'll meet you halfway. And neoniskos is a very vague term, and if you take all the sources collectively, it can be, most of them say 21 to 29. Most of them say that, but some of them push it back to 15, and there's a couple trickled in there that actually say, I wonder if I can mute this so I can so I don't have to keep doing, so just keep because I know you're not here for all the super chat stuff. So
And Outset's will drop $1.99 super chat.
Did it go away?
Omicron, Delta, Nu, Tau, Omega, Nu means teeth. They are talking about teeth.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for the super. I appreciate it. I'm not trying to. I will read these all at the end. I just want to. I know Maddie's. You got your code, right? You're signed by the devil. Is that what it is? You can't. You don't want to do super chats, so it's fine. Look.
No, I mean, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yes. Like I said, some people don't have welfare or a rich family. Some people have to make money. Some people are in the middle, the working class. We're the ones that pay the taxes that can pay for Ammon's welfare. So you're welcome, Ammon Hillman. Anyway, so I literally wanted to say, I get it. The sources are vague. Most of them say 21 and 29. Let's be clear on that. However, if you want to say it's above puberty, fine, because there are a few trickled in sources that do say after puberty they become neoniskos. But the point that I'm trying to drive home here, we can move on to Satan, unless you have more to say, is that it's always above puberty, no matter what. Always, it's always post-pubescent. Always.
Hmm.
You don't have to agree.
I don't, but
I'll let the audience kind of decide and who made the most sense here. Any last thoughts on that before we move on to the next one?
My favorite comment from somebody, I think I included in the post that I made, was somebody was talking about the implication of that East Coast, because if you're referring to a young man, you wouldn't always include that unless they were especially small. For example, the example that they use is if they use that term phalliskos, then that would mean that you have a tiny dick, and that iskos is the diminutive. So,
Sure.
I think that does say a lot if you're using.
Is a butterfly? Is a butterfly a flying piece of butter?
No.
There's a lot of examples, especially in Greek, of words that if you break them down etymologically, it looks like it could mean something, and it doesn't. And in English, we have examples. Butterfly is one. It doesn't. Having niskos in there is a good reason to look at it and go, "Oh, it's in the diminutive. It's something smaller." But you have to provide sources. I provide. Who's using the term neoniskos and how are they using it? Is the answer to this question. We can't just decide 2,000 years later what we want it to mean based on our own reasons. We go back to the text, we pull up Philo, we pull up Hesychius, for example. That's we can talk about Hesychius too. We pull up all these different sources and we like, what are they trying to say here? What are these ancient Greeks trying to say when they use this term? 99.9% of the time, they're talking about a man above puberty, usually in the 20s. So we can sit there and talk about diminutive all day, but there's no examples of anyone ever saying these prepubescent neoniskos are doing this, or never. There's zero, absolutely zero.
All right.
I'm sure some of the Ammonites are probably going to are chomping at the bit to talk about Hesychius. Now, Hesychius is the one source that Ammon can use because it has this very strange passage. It doesn't even make a lot of sense because it just says nepios. However, if you don't know better, you're going to be duped by this because nepios, let me see if I think I had the word right here. Is it? Yeah. No, it's neanos. Hold on. Nepios can be an adjective. Nepios right here. Adjective. And you can see childish. Now, Hesychius doesn't explain what he means when he lists neoniskos, childish, nepios. He doesn't say anything what he's talking about. In fact, it goes against all the primary sources from before that. This is written in 500 AD. So it's like it's like we're trying to understand Shakespeare. Would we go to a text from today to define what words are being used in Shakespeare's time? So we're already in bad territory methodology-wise. Using Hesychius to define a word in the Gospels is already bad methodology. It's Byzantine era. It's 500 AD. 2, the text is badly corrupt. Some people just throw it out because of that. Some scholars. I'm willing to look at it with you guys and go, what does he mean by this? And it makes a lot of sense that he's using the adjective childish, because most people between 15 and 30 are childish. Most of my 20s, I was in and out of institutions and doing dumb shit and going to prison. I was childish. Neoniskos is a childish person. That makes sense to me. And the reason why I can justify that theory or that definition of is because if you actually go to the same page that I have his entire lexicon right here. I actually love going through it and reading, because it gives like all these weird examples of words. There's a lot of purple in there, a lot of Yas stuff. I thought it's very fascinating. I brought it up on Amon stream before. Mm-hmm. I love Hesychius. But when you go to that page, when he's talking about neoniskos, let me see if I can find my my notes. Something interesting pops up in my mind when I look at this. And let me share my screen right now. He said here. So this is a screenshot of the same page where you find neoniskos right here. You can see my mouse, and there it is, nepios. So what is it? What the hell? Well, I did a count. I looked up how many times does he use adjectives, and this is how most lexicons operate this way. They give a word, usually some sort of noun, and they define it. And how do you define something? You use adjectives. So when he uses an adjective here, he uses an adjective here, he uses an adjective here, and here. And these words right here are not necessarily adjectives. Like this word right here, merakiomenos, is not an adjective, but it's a participle, and it's being used as an adjective to describe something. All of the words on this list, every single one of them, is either an adjective or a participle and describing what he's talking about. So it would make no sense at all if there was one entry where he decides to change up this way of doing it, and all of a sudden he wants to go, no, I'm going to give neoniskos, and I'm going to give it another completely. Blue is orange. I'm going to say 7.
I would argue with the nepios, however, because I think it's in regards to infants. And the only reason I would say that is because the other words surrounding it are using it as metaphor for saying it's a word to explain something as childish, but it's also something that talks about something being infantine or regarding infants. And the fact that it says not yet speaking like an infant.
That's the LSJ though. I'm talking about talking about what. That's fine. We can go there. Sure. There. But
I was just
yeah. Okay, you're trying to put it all through. Sure. Yeah. Now, just to point out, what are these other adjectives? He says so. For the definition of neos, that's an adjective, right? Palumpos, bold, daring. Nepios, infantile, childish, right? And it looks like it. It almost is certainly, in my opinion, when I'm reading through Hesychius, he's describing something. So he gives adjectives, or he describes it, or he uses a participle. Like these examples right here, he's literally explaining the word, and this is how I put it. This is how I justify this. Okay. If all the sources before this, let's go back to these real quick. If I can just bring you back to these sources again. So we have Polybius talking about neoniskos being men with daggers and swords going to war, 2nd century BCE. Aristotle. Children go to war with swords?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Are you where?
Go back to the source and above.
Polybius, this one? Wait, which one was it?
Yeah,
This
Polybius.
one? Yeah. Pisces, it's a different word.
Yeah.
So he says Pisces. He says
the
that children,
Pisces gives cones and bracelet. The young men he gave swords and daggers. Yeah.
yes, to the pies, he gives cones and bracelets. Here you go, little children. Here's little bracelets and cones. Oh, you cutie. Hey, neanos. Oh, let me see. Here you go. Here's a sword. Here's a dagger. How do you come away with this and say these are prepubescent children? How do you justify that unless you want it to be that?
I think in the mind of the ancient world, Pisces were toddlers, and the
Yeah.
neanos were middle-aged children, not yet pubescent. So
Where is the
that is
source for that?
my.
Where is the source? I just gave you 5 sources that gave you 21 to 29. Where's your source? You can't just say that. Provide a source for that. Here's Aristophanes talking about the stages. Merakion, then he says merox, then eta means then, by the way, or then comes eta, neaniskos, then neaniskos. Look at this: palaka, bupaida, antipaida, melaphebon, ephebos, and then apodromos, and then he gets to merakion, merox, then neaniskos. So wait a minute, and then look at this. He even says our 30-year-olds. He says, he uses the word triakidios, 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
So where's the idea that these are before puberty? Where is this coming from? I already, here's one source. Here's another source, Epictetus. Look at, when you're in neaniskos, what does he say? Dikas hotos eleges ke eudokimes. And then he says, epaliteos teo. Youth are pleading cases in politics.
Does it matter if he's prepubescent?
Yes, it does.
So, male semen uses antidote to scorpion venom. Thoughts?
Look at Ammon's in the chat screeching. You are amazingly bad. Deception. Ammon, come on, dude. Here. Ammon, let me give you a link. Jump on right now. Let's see you help Maddie out. I'll give you 2 verse 1. Here, link is in the chat. Boom. Come on, Ammon. You scared? Because you know you're lying. You know you're full of shit. You know you're lying to Maddie. But maybe you're not dishonest, Maddie. But you're being completely lied to by Ammon Hillman. Completely lied to. I have sources here. Come on, Ammon, jump on in. Anyone else jumps in, they're getting banned. So don't jump in unless you're Ammon Hillman. Ammon Hillman, you got the link in the description, Ammon. Come on in.
To be honest, 88 dropped $5 super chat. Does it matter if he's prepubescent? Pliny NH 28.
Yes, it does. I'll tell you why. Because Ammon made it clear that it has to be prepubescent. Here, I put the link in the chat. Here, Ammon, you scared pussy. Come on in and defend your bullshit. You scared pussy. Ammon Hillman's a pussy, scared because he knows he can't come on here. Nah, Nathan, you're done. I'm literally kicking you from the studio. Next time you come on, you're getting banned. I said only Ammon Hillman. He's full of it, and that's why he won't come on here. I give you credit for coming on here, but he's full of it. I
really respectfully disagree.
Okay, where's the sources? Where's a source that says neanos is a?
Honey, you invited me on to just read Greek, and I'm happy to do that. And
you can't even read Greek.
Don't yell at me.
You can't read it. You don't even know what the word "the" is translated to. You don't even know the word. I
literally said "hey."
I said after I said "hey." After I said "hey," it's "hi," by the way, not "hey."
No, it's
yes, you had the wrong. So you had the singular.
You were still wrong. Me the definite.
I said plural.
Article.
I said plural, nominative feminine, and you go, oh, I don't know what that is. And then I said "hey," and you copied me and said "hey." But it wasn't "hey," it's "hi." I was saying another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you don't even know it. So I think you're just telling people you're going through this book really fast. By the way, that's not how you learn Greek. You don't speed run Greek. You learn it. You understand it.
If I wanted to, I would prefer to learn a unit for like a week or 2 at a time. But no, you
Let's hear you read some Greek. Let's hear you read some Greek then. Can you read this right here?
Yeah, go ahead. Can I read it? Hotere nianiskos kai heite epoliteos Et politeuou kai dikas autos eleges kai
Good job.
dokimes.
Okay, good job. I'm surprised you don't know what the definite article is for feminine.
Well, when you throw it at me like that, God, what do you expect?
I don't know. I have all. What is it? I mean, how many is it for? It's 60, 32. I have all 32 definite articles just on the top of my head at any time. You can ask me anyone you want right now. I'll tell you.
All right. Do you know? Do you know your verb endings? Yet?
Yeah, like luo, lues, lue, luomen,
Like
luete,
do
luote.
the endings for the present indicative. I mean, we don't have to just
I
be
just
like,
said that.
yeah,
What?
let's see
No, that's
what
what
we
I just said.
know. You know,
Yeah, no, I don't
I
want to do
don't
that
give
either.
a fuck.
I wasn't trying to do that to you.
Either
I just
way, I
wanted to.
mean,
Oh, by the
it's
way, you
like,
did a
yeah,
really.
you want to
By
do
the way,
that to
your
me, but
pronunciation just
I'm.
now. Your pronunciation that was beautiful, better than me.
Thank you.
It really.
Oh,
No,
thank you.
that was
That's
beautiful. That was.
like my. That's like my. That's my
You're good
strong
at
suit. I
pronouncing it.
think I can read it. I'm still learning the vocab. You
No,
know,
no,
like
that was
I'm
very
still
good. That was
learning.
like
You know.
perfect.
I
And
mean,
you even
for
stopped yourself.
for
You even stopped yourself and you made a little error and then redid it, which is like that's a sign of a pro. That was good.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, of course, I didn't even know my alphabet until February. You know what I'm saying? So
That's good.
this is just my
No,
passion
I'm okay. I'm
project,
not gonna.
and I'm
I'll sit
here
there.
just to be a vessel for truth. And I'm open to being wrong. I'm open to exploring. That's my heart.
Okay,
I'm just,
fair
you
enough.
know.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
By the way, you
you
said
wanna show me
Hesychius.
sources and be like, here, you're wrong about this. Let's have a discussion. That's what I'm about. You
All right,
know?
well, let's do the Satan thing then,
Okay.
because you made that you that was a response to me in your thing, and I'm just telling you right now, this is so off
Is
reality
it?
that I don't know how you got here, unless you either really don't understand. This is Latin anyway, so maybe you just don't know Latin, because the
Latin.
word, yeah,
Okay, show me, show me, show me.
Satan or Saturn doesn't come from Greek or Hebrew. You said You said it comes
Oh,
from Saturn.
Saturn. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
yes,
the
you said.
STR root, the word Saturn.
Yeah, that's from sature, which is a means like to be satiated, or it means to be to sow.
No, it's Saturn. Saturne. Saturn, which came before that. So,
What does that mean?
and you can trace the STR root, which can be
Yeah,
traced to the Satans.
Satan's not an STR root.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's where does Satan ever use an STR?
Literally, STR. You can,
Satan has STR in it?
yeah.
Where? STN. That's what it is. STN in
You
Hebrew.
have to
Literally
track the
two letters.
morphology of it.
No, there's no
So,
morphology of the word Satan in Hebrew.
in Hebrew, oh,
Yeah,
is
it's
that
just
what
it's
you're
a
looking
Hebrew
at?
word, and
That's
it's
not what I.
transliterated in Greek. Wait, so okay, show me where's Satan used in Greek with STR in it.
STR. So it comes from the word Aster, which you know about Aster, right?
Esther.
So Aster, the word Aster is star. It's that also
Yeah.
that a slang term that Amen talks about for marijuana.
What does that have to do with Satan?
It's the same root. So the star, the morning star, is connected to Saturn.
No, the morning star is Venus, not
Yes,
Saturn.
I know.
So that's
But
different.
I'm
That's not even
saying,
nothing. Saturn is not the morning star. Venus is the morning star.
no, Saturn's the dark star, silly. But
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the
that's
same
called
root
it's
of
called the
I'm
black sun.
talking
You're right.
about the word Saturn.
That has nothing to do with the word star at all. And I can give you primary sources from the ancients themselves telling us what it means. Are you guys allergic to
Here,
primary
go
sources? You guys
ahead.
just
Go
make up.
ahead.
All right,
Don't
all
be
right.
rude.
No, I think that's
Don't
what
be
you
rude.
prefer, right? You want to learn. So I guess that's fair. Here's Vero. Vero on the Latin language. He's literally explaining the Latin language.
Yeah, yeah.
What's a better source than Vero? What does Vero say? Saturn, sky is the beginning. Saturn was named from Satis, meaning sowing. Oh, where's the star stuff? Because it has nothing to do with the word star. Well, hold on, and I have more. I can give you another one. Let's go to Cicero. Cicero says, Chronos, for Saturn's Greek name is Chronos. The Latin designation is Saturn, on the other hand, is due to the fact that he is satiated with, satiated with years. Now, let's look at the LS. You love the LSJ. I do too. What does the LSJ say? Satus, right here. Boom. Satus, sowing, planting. That's why Saturn is the god of sowing and planting. That's why he holds the scythe in his hand. He's nothing to do with Satan at all. It's made up. And the Bible, like let me ask you this.
Sure.
I'm getting a little. Let me calm myself down. Do you know the Old Testament in Greek? That's your preferred Bible? Obviously, you think it's the original, right?
Correct.
Okay. What word is it used for Satan?
In the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me.
It doesn't use the word Satan. It uses diabolo because it's the word devil. This comes from Indo-European. There's nothing to do with Hebrew.
That's the New Testament, though. Diablo.
No. Old Testament. Every time. Let me show you right now. Let's learn. All right. So there is one example. There's one example where the Greek Septuagint uses Satan in Greek. One example. It's in 1 Kings. But you can tell it's a transliteration. Huh?
And the Septuagint, you mean?
The Septuagint, yes.
Okay.
And so I have both the Hebrew, the West Leather Codex, 10th century one, and the 1851 Septuagint. And it says, the Lord raised up an adversary. This is a perfect translation. Mm-hmm. Because what does it say? It says, Kai, Hegere, Gukurios Satan. Wait, what? The Lord raised up a Satan? And then it says, Toi Salomon, Tone, Adair, Tone, Edomite, whatever the word is. And so, what does it say? You can see the word Satan over here too. Yahweh, it says Yahweh raised up Shatan. Right there is the word Shatan. By the way, you said in your post, this word doesn't exist in anything before the Bible. That's wrong. It has Ugaritic, Northwestern Semitic roots. It's an Aramaic. It's an Arabic. It means adversary. It even means to be opposed to something or to be far away from something. So we have an etymology. There's no etymology in Greek for this word at all. Zero. Herodotus doesn't use it. There's no one that uses it before the Bible. You can't find Homer doesn't use it. Herodotus doesn't use it. None of the pre-Socratics use it because it doesn't exist before the Septuagint. This is the first time in Greek the word ever shows up because it's translating Satan. That's how we know it's a translation. Now, let me go even farther. I wanted to get that out the way before anyone says, but what about 1 Kings 11? Because if you actually go to let me ask you this. Do you know how many times the word Satan shows up in the Old Testament? I'm not just, it's like, you probably, this is not something everyone knows. This is not a stump your question. The answer is 25 to 27 total. 25 of them doesn't use Satan. He uses Diabolo. So for example, this is the wrong page. I went to the same page. For example, Satan. So this is one of the prime examples. Job. The first time Satan shows up in the Bible is in the book of Job. What happens? Well, his name is Satan in the Hebrew side. This is how we know it's a Hebrew word, by the way. Mm-hmm. And on top of the fact that it's in Ugaritic and all this Akkadian stuff, it's all over the Semitic world, not in the Greek world. But what does the Greek do?
That's so silly. Okay.
What does the Greek do? Look at this. Now there was a feast. It says, Kai epen ho kurios tu diabolo.
Diaboloi.
There's your devil root. That's what the word devil comes from diabolu, not Satan. That's why Satan and the devil are the same thing. It's a translation of the word Satan. Here's Satan right here. Look. Ha-shatan right there. Ha means the. Shatan. That's Satan in Hebrew. They don't use the word Satan in Greek because Satan doesn't exist in Greek. Why would the Hebrew translate diabolo into Satan if it's not the same word? Do you understand what I'm saying right now?
I think you're thinking of it backwards.
How?
Besides that, there are other texts
that use Satan?
Yeah.
Show me one.
I think I included some in my post.
No, you gave the link for the New Testament in the TLG. The New Testament, of course, it's going to be in the New Testament. It's using it's coming from it's coming from Hebrew in the Bible.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anywhere in the Greek world, anywhere before the Bible. They use diabolo. That's why the Greek word is diabolo. The Hebrew word is Satan. Satan is a Hebrew word. This is so easy. This is so simple. I'm showing you on the screen. Look, there's diabolo. There's a translation of Satan. Now, if you want to make the argument that the original is diabolo and the translation is Satan, what? Why does it even make any sense anymore? Where do they get the word from then?
If you look up Diabolo in the LSJ, it comes up next to it with the word grouse. And that word is used to describe an old woman.
So?
And the oldest
What are we doing here?
documentation of
Slanderous,
the name
backbiting.
Satana was used in Scythian myth.
In what?
In Scythian myth.
Yeah. I'm aware of Satana, the Scythian goddess. What does that have to do with this, though? Satana, yeah. What does that have to do with what we're looking at, though?
I'm saying, if you
Scythian
look it
is in
up in
Greek.
the LSJ, Diabolo, the devil. Why would it say old woman next to it?
Where's it say? What are you talking about? It says slanderous backbiting.
See that word right next to it? Grouse.
Grouse. Yeah.
Click on that.
Scum of boiled milk, sea crab. Yeah, old woman. That's one usage of it. You see, this is what you guys don't understand. This is why you're getting played by Amen. You guys think that the LSJ is a buffet where you guys just go in here and look for words to choose. Oh, look, old woman. Okay, we found Satan is an old woman. That's not how this works. This is horrible methodology. This is going to lead you to nowhere. This is going to lead you to the most nonsensical research in your entire life. This is not how you define a word, by the way. It's saying, do you understand what's going on here? Hold on.
Any connection between Judas
Diabolo.
and Homer?
Diabolo. It says diabolo. Slanderous backbiting. And then it says the word is used here, a slanderous grouse. It's saying in quotations in this source right here. So there was a grouse who was slanderous and backbiting. That's what it's saying.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean this word means diabolos. These aren't equal to each other. That's not how this works.
Say that either.
I don't know, but I'm just saying that the word literally means like to slander or to be an enemy or something like that.
$1.99. Any connection between Judas and Melanthius Homer?
I don't know. Okay, so let me slow down here. All right. The point I'm trying to point out to you, if we go to where the hell did my notes go? If we go to Job, here it is. Why would Job, if you think Job is the original, let's play this tape through. Job is the original, right? Right? Job's the original? Job and Greek. I'm sorry, Septuagint. The Septuagint Job is the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're saying that the original author wrote down Kai hepon he kurios toi diablo, and then a translator came later on and translated, for some reason, he translated diabolo as Satan. Even though this is a Greek word, you say. He inserted a Greek word in here. Instead of translating it into what their language is, he used the Greek word. That's what you're saying.
Probably, yeah.
Do you understand? This is like IQ 7 type shit right here. This is my brain is losing brain cells as we speak. He probably translated the word diabolo into Satan, a Greek word.
There's a lot, if you look, that is flattened and even skipping words. Like, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Skipping words?
Yeah. In English and in the Hebrew.
So where's the word?
In comparison to the Greek.
Where's the word Satan before the Bible, before the Septuagint? You said this is a Greek word, right? So he used the Greek word. Where is he getting this word from? Because I can point to you right now. I can point to you several examples where there's a cognate for the word Satan in other Northwest Semitic dialects like Arabic, Aramaic, Phoenician, Ugaritic, Akkadian, where they have some sort of word, satanu, setanu, some sort of similar word to Satan, where it means the same thing. It means to oppose.
Julianus88 dropped $5 super
So
chat.
where's the Greek version
Dead
of
Sea
this?
Scrolls prefer Belial and Mistema over Satan.
Well, in
Alternate
my
one to
post,
Greek dialecect.
I talked more
Direct
about
21,
how
27,
it was
Greek
representative
117 BCE.
of
Sigma
this
Alpha Tau.
reality of this unveiling, in a sense. So, I mean, you can read the sources there.
All right, let's go to your post then. So you talked about in the Satan one. Let's go to it right now.
Where
Let's
I
see.
tracked the years. At least I included it, I think. So.
Satan functions as an anthropological
It's the
concept.
next one.
What is?
Julianus88 dropped $5 super chat. Dead Sea
Satan.
Scrolls prefer Belial and Mistema over Satan.
So
Alternate one to Greek Diablo.
this is a back
Direct
translation which
21,
occurred
27,
after the row
117
is lost from the
BCE.
Greek word
Sigma Alpha
aster.
Tau Alpha Nu.
Where's the evidence of this? Where's the word? Where is the? Show me an example of when the word used to be Saturn or something like that, and it became Satan.
I'll have to take a search for that. That'll be good.
Yeah, but like having a conclusion first and then going to find the evidence for the conclusion is how you end up like Amon Hillman. How you end up being laughed at and kicked out of academia and never invited back to write books and write peer-review papers, like Kyle Ruck says. Kyle Ruck never invited Amon back after the last 2 publications he did years ago because they were just completely nonsense. I'm not going to get into that.
Nonsense. Okay.
Saturn comes from
Continue.
Saturnus, the Roman Greek titan for Satan. Why'd you write Satan in Hebrew right here? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. You wrote the father of Zeus, and then you wrote Shaitan.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Satan is a de-roified Saturn. What's the evidence? Can you show me a text in ancient Greek where it uses the word Satan before the Bible? No, doesn't exist. You can go to the LSJ, do a word search, doesn't exist. Even Ammon's oldest source for the word Satan is the New Testament, by the way. He used it in one of his videos, and he goes, "Look what I found. People want to say Satan's from Hebrew? Well, look at this." And he flashes on the screen. This is how I know his followers are like the dumbest people in the world. He flashes on the screen an LSJ with the word Satan in New Testament and church father sources. What the fuck is that? That's after the Bible.
We've literally been having workshops tracking Satan.
Where is it?
tracking
You've had
Saturn.
workshops on it. So where is it? Where is this? Where is it? Trace. Show me. You traced it. You did workshops on it. Where is it?
We were doing it live. I didn't
I don't
include
watch
it.
that shit. I stopped
course
watching that
you
year, probably over a year ago. I only get shown clips now, and it's just retarded stuff.
Retarded stuff. Okay.
Look at this. So you're
Well,
saying
I didn't really come here for your diabolical
Diabolo? There you go.
affiliation
There you go.
ritual that you're
Yeah.
doing.
Well, I just want to see anything to back up what you guys are saying. So
Sure, but you put me on the spot.
you just
If I
said it
could
does
bring
not.
sources, and I would, yeah.
But you
course.
could put this on YouTube yesterday. You could put this on YouTube 12 hours ago, but you have no idea where it comes from. You can't even back up where it comes from. You just wrote right here. It does not need to mean adversary. Where does it mean anything else besides adversary?
It doesn't mean adversary.
This is also wrong, by the way.
necessarily. Okay.
This is wrong. No inscriptions use Satan. It's actually found in other West Semitic dialects. That's
Okay.
wrong. The answer to this should be it doesn't exist in Greek before the Bible, because it doesn't.
You
It doesn't
know,
exist in Greek. It's not a Greek
you
word.
know what doesn't exist?
What?
The words Hebrew and Israel and
What?
Judah don't exist before the consolidated conception.
You don't know
of
the Merneptah is?
Septuagint.
You ever heard of the Merneptah? Right? I'm going to show you right now. Merneptah.
Okay.
Ready? What does this say right here? This is from 1300 BC, 1200 BC in Egyptian. And what does it say right here? Israel is laid waste and is no more. So you just said something that was just objectively incorrect. You don't know? You never heard of this stuff?
I'm talking about in Greek texts.
Yeah, no one mentions Israel in Greek text before Hesychius of Abdera. We agree on that.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm saying it's suspicious considering that we have histories and people documenting extensively. Why would they not include that?
Because the Israelites, by the time he gets to Herodotus in 450 BCE, he's writing in the Persian period, and he's not going to write about a kingdom that's dead. Israel is a backwater. But you know who does mention Israel is the Assyrians. When they conquered them, they mentioned them in their steles. They mentioned they mentioned the kings, Omri, Hezekiah. The kings are mentioned. The Torah, listen, let me level with you right now. The Torah, Moses, Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, the 12 tribes, none of that shit is mentioned by anyone before like 300 BC. However, and this is where Ammon loses because he doesn't pay attention and he doesn't know what nuance is. There is sources that mention the kings, Omri, David, Hezekiah. I think a few other kings are mentioned. Israel's mentioned. Judah's mentioned. The kingdom is real. It's a real place. Hebrew is a real language. There's inscriptions with Hebrew and older dialects of Hebrew, whatever you want to call it. So that's real. The thing that Ammon doesn't understand, and he thinks he's like defended by the scholarship, is that the Torah didn't exist yet. That's two different things. We can talk about the Torah being late. I'm fine. I'm a minimalist in that sense. But the idea that Israel and Hebrew doesn't exist is like flat Earth shit. It's like doesn't mean. I just showed you an example that mentions Israel. So
Interesting. Cool.
I mean, what else? I think that was that all we were discussing in our back and forth.
I believe so.
So when Ammon tells you that Satan comes from Saturn, do you just go, sure, you just accept it? You don't want to know if it's right or wrong, or if he's lying to you? You don't care do you care if you're being lied to?
I don't believe that I'm being lied to because I can
But do you
see
care if
it
you're being
work
lied to?
for myself. I can see how it morphs.
But you couldn't even give me an
I
example.
don't necessarily care to argue with you because I know how stubborn you are, and I know that you're invested in other
I'm
sources and stuff
stubborn.
like
The
that.
one
So
who can pull up sources to defend his arguments is
sure, but
stubborn. The one
yeah,
who
if I
can't.
had sources to pull up and I
Yeah.
knew what we were going to
So,
be talking about, you
so
asked me to
Cicero
come here
and
to do
Varro.
Greek drills. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Well,
you didn't tell me we
I
were
was
going to be
actually
like, hey,
I was gonna go more on the Greek side, but when you couldn't read you couldn't tell me what the definite article was, I was like, all right, that's
okay.
embarrassing. Let's just move on. I was gonna go through numbers. I was gonna do a little bit of drills. But I was like, if she can't even does that, I'm not gonna sit here and embarrass her. But you know how to read it. You could read Greek. It's pretty interesting. But like I said, if Ammon's saying something, you just accept it. You just go, oh, Ammon says Saturn came from Satan.
No, of
Satan came
course
from
not.
Saturn.
I want to
But you
see it
couldn't
for
provide a source.
myself. I want to search for myself. And I know that the Greek is the motherfucking original text. I can see how it has evolved naturally.
It's not. There's
It
not a
really
single
is. Yeah,
linguist. There's not a
really.
single linguist in the
So,
world that knows Hebrew and Greek that would say this.
Hesychius
What does he say?
he says
Let's pull it up.
that, all right,
What does he say?
he says that, let's see here. He said that, let's see here. So, Greek mythology itself preserves the origin of Phoenician and the letters which evolve into the ancient
He
Greek.
says it comes from Cadmus.
Cadmus brought,
Cadmus is a Phoenician.
yes, from Phoenicia the letters, and they're called. Linus transferred them into the Greek language, is what he says, to give each character and to fix its shape.
Yeah. That's how the alphabet came about. We're
Yeah.
talking about Yeah, the alphabet. That's the alphabet. We're talking about the Bible being the original.
Oh, the Bible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in Hebrew first.
Bible's definitely not the Hebrew is not. There's no freaking way that the Hebrew could, because the Hebrew is so
You never read Psalm 19?
Psalm 19. Oh yeah, because of the
The acrostic.
acoustic.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
So you
love
guys just don't
that.
care about evidence. You guys
But
just don't care about evidence.
that's an
Just ignore it.
invention of Christian theologians
No, it's
from
not. It's
the.
not. It's in the Dead
It
Sea
really
Scrolls.
is.
It's
Yeah,
in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
it's
It's
from
in the
the
Dead Sea
fourth,
Scrolls.
fifth centuries
It's in the
AD.
Dead Sea
They
Scrolls.
constructed.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
It's in the
Dead
Dead Sea
Sea
Scrolls.
Scrolls are fabrications.
Oh, so
Not
everything's just everything that goes against your worldview is a fabrication, and everything that doesn't, you just make up evidence. Like Satan came from Saturn.
making up evidence. No, you
Cicero's
can
wrong.
literally track
Yeah, you guys are just
the
making shit up.
morning star. You can
The
literally
morning star
track
is
it in the
Venus.
language. You can track
So what? So when
Satan.
Vero says Satan comes from Saturn, meaning to sow, is he lying? He's wrong. He knows. You guys know more about ancient Latin than Vero does. Who wrote the book on Latin? He wrote the book on
Doesn't
Latin.
Latin also come from Greek?
Latin does not come from Greek. What are you talking about? They both come from. They're different Indo-European languages. No, you're wrong about that too. Latin does not come from Greek. Saturn has nothing to do with a Greek word. There's no Greek word for Saturn. Saturn from Satyrs sowing. So is Vero lying?
Is Vero lying?
Yes, he just
But
doesn't
I
know his
think
own
we're
language.
talking about the same fucking thing. And it's
Sowing?
to sow.
Are you familiar with Africanis' letter to Origin?
I've heard it, yeah.
Yeah, Ammon likes to talk about it all the time. He says that this is evidence that the Bible was written in Hebrew first and then translated. Let me see if I can pull it up. And I think you might want to get up after. You probably want to leave soon. Right? You're not enjoying this that much. No, it's like let's just do one more thing. I want to show you Africanis, something to think about. Amon Hillman literally lied to Danny Jones's face about this text. I wish I could pull up the video. I don't know exactly where it is. The letter from Africanis. Africanis to Origin. Letter 2. Why does it keep showing up? Okay, letter 2. Oh, here we go. Okay, I found it. Here we go. Let me share my screen. So just to give you guys a reason why I'm bringing this up. Ammon talks about that. He told Danny Jones that this source right here. He told Danny Jones that Origin wrote a letter, or Africanis wrote a letter to Origin, admitting that all the Bible was written in Greek first. This is what he says. But it's not what it says. It says the exact opposite. He's a liar. And Ammon knows this. When I was friends with Ammon, I used to bring this up to him. I go, dude, you mentioned this, but it doesn't say what you're saying. And he would just ignore me. Just like he says that the Septuagint is the original. When I could show you, I showed him evidence that in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's literally a transliteration of Yao Greek. Kurios is in the Septuagint. Anyways, another topic. In this letter, he talks about in 2 books from Daniel. He says, "Greetings, my Lord Origin. In your sacred discussion with Agnomen, refer to prophecy of Daniel, and I accept it as genuine. I cannot understand that how it escaped you. This book is spurious." He said, "This book's a forgery." He says, "There are many proofs of this. In Susanna is condemned to die. The prophet is seized by the spirit and cries out, the sentence is unjust." Daniel, so he says, he gives the evidence right here. In one case, it says prenos, and another place it says presin. So it looks like it's an original Greek source. And then another part of the book, he uses the word skisthenai and skinos. So he's arguing that this book, Susanna, from Daniel, is a Greek text. And this is what Ammon brings up to Danny Jones. He goes, look, there's this letter where he's arguing that it's all Greek. He's talking about the book of Daniel. In particular, he's talking about Susanna. Then Ammon leaves the next part out. He says, in Greek, the home tree and saw asunder are sound alike, but in Hebrew, they are quite distinct. All the books of the Old Testament have been translated from Hebrew into Greek. So he lied about that. I mean, do you guys care that he just lies about stuff? I just want to know, you care? If you found out Ammon was lying to you, would you care?
I don't care what Ammon says. I'd rather look for myself. I'd rather see for myself. But I do trust Ammon and his insight because he has a lot more experience than both of us to work with the text. So, yeah.
But when I can objectively, like I just showed you an objectively false statement that he made about this text. Objectively false. I mean, I could pull up what Ammon says about it probably if you want to see it. You want to hear what Ammon says about it?
I don't really care a second about
so
it.
You just don't care. Like, you don't care about lies and being lied to and leading people astray. You want people to think that the Bible. You want people to think that ancient Greece is all about pedophilia. Ancient Greece is all about pedophilia.
Yeah.
It's all about pedos and getting drugs, and it's all about extracting purple from prepubescent children and using it for the mystery rites. None of that exists in any primary sources, not one, zero.
Oh my God, there's so many. It's literally everywhere. It's literally in the Bible everywhere.
Show me one. Show me one where it says that a prepubescent child is used to extract purple drugs for the mystery rite. Show me one right now. One. Just one.
One? God,
Can you name one primary source? One. Call Ammon right now. I'll give you as much time as you need. Call Ammon, find one primary source that mentions children being extracted with burning purple.
There's so many aspects. You can look at like the oxos. You want to look at the vinegar. You want to look at
What about it?
The Mary Purple Fingers, those sources.
What about
it? Look at her using her hair and Jesus wiping his towel on the feet and all of the sexuality in the Bible. Yeah, it's all.
So you find one source mentions the word purple, another source mentions burning. They're 200 years apart from each other, but we're going to put those together. Then we find another source that says makes bring a child to the ritual, and put that one in. You just guys have a whole soup of sources that you just throw together. Can you show me one?
I'm talking strictly about the Bible itself.
Can you show me one primary source from antiquity anywhere? 1,000-year range, 500 BC to 500 AD.
Don't give me any time to prep. This is such BS because
I'll give you as much time
to
as you want.
Put me on the spot when I haven't even had
you don't have any.
to.
I've been asking Ammon for years.
Research. You're just trying to be a dickhead.
How do you not know one source?
And be like, look at all these sources. Like, come on.
How do you not have one primary source?
I didn't come here to be like, look, Ammon's wrong. Look, I'm gonna shame you. No, I came here to
you deserve it.
Motherfucking Greek.
People like you who lead people astray,
and
who grift people.
Beauty.
You lie to people. You make up bullshit.
I don't lie to people. I tell people.
You can't even give me one primary source. You can't even give me one primary source for burning purple. Yeah, for burning purple being used in rituals.
Here, let's look at that one that you say, about the burnt purple, the one that you talk about.
The Ascorides. The Ascorides.
Yeah,
we can pull it up.
We can pull that one up because I noticed that you missed something about that.
Oh, did I?
You did. You forgot the burning.
Okay. Hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll give you 1 second. I gotta find my notes here.
Do I have a computer before me? No. Do I have any sort of resources before me? Absolutely not. Like, come on.
It doesn't matter. If you ask me a question right now about, hey Neil, you have this theory, Neil, that you brought on you made a video about this topic, or you wrote a Facebook post, or Neil, you wrote an X post and you said this. What source were you talking about? I'll be able to say it right off the top of my head. Because I don't just say things that I don't know about. You can't even mention one source. One. That's not good. That means you don't know. That means you're just being told bullshit. Dioscorides. Hold on. Because you want to know why I know the answer before you even said it? I've looked for this stuff. I was a follower of Ammon. I wanted it to be true. And then I realized it's not true.
You don't believe it's true.
Yeah,
so you haven't had the ears to even hear.
Wait, but that's funny. Ammon used to tell me that I did back in the day. So what happened? I lost my ears to hear. They fall off? Because he used to tell me I did. I have clips of that. I have tons of clips of him saying that. Look at that, guys. This is someone with ears to hear. Oh, he's so good all the time. And then all of a sudden I realized he's bullshitting because I wanted it to be true. I wanted him. I've been looking for the burning purple since day one. I've been trying to find it. It's not there. It doesn't exist.
I'll find it for you right when you pull up Dioscorides.
It's not
Here,
burning
show
purple.
me that purple that's burnt. Show it to me. I'll find it for you.
Dioscorides. Where the hell is it? Why is there 7 with one source in here? I think my notes are all messed up. Oh, here it is right here. Right here.
Okay, let's see. Oh, man. Okay, let's look. All right.
This is not even an active participle, by the way. So it's not burning. It's one burnt. I'm in light about that too. You should know this. You did. You should know. You should know endings.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something.
It's one of
It might have been on the next page, but that's okay. It was this word. It was causticoi. That was being used to describe it, and that is a specific word that is talking about.
This is the word. This source right here.
Burning.
It says right here, "Keikaumenon," when burnt.
I know, but that's not the one that I was thinking about.
This is the only source that mentions it.
In the next page, I read the source, and I was talking.
Oh, here's what you're talking about right here. Okay, so the same effects that produce burnt shells. Kerukes. By the way, this is not even from children. This is from the shells. This is from the purple shells. So this is what makes no sense to me. You guys say it comes from children. Which one is it? Does the purple come from children or does it come from the shells?
The purple comes from the shells. The antidote comes from the children.
So the antidote comes from the children. Where is the source about the antidote from the children? Do you mix them together? Is that how you make burning purple?
I don't know. It comes from the.
This is why it makes no sense. You have one source that mentions burn purple right here, and it doesn't. It just says it's for beer. It's for healing and stuff like that, right? It's for like we agree. This is some medical usage. There's some medical usage being used with the purple shells, but nowhere does he ever say, "Oh, by the way, if you take this and mix it with children's semen, you're going to get some sort of drug that's for the mystery rites." There's not a single source that mentions that ever. 0. I would know. I would be making videos on it right now if it existed. I wanted it to be true.
Well,
I would be making tons of videos.
Keep searching because.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had more sources to give and
you don't have any
argue, like I would bring them, but I didn't have any time to prep because I didn't even think this was going to happen tonight.
Can I ask? All right, let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you can provide me a single primary source that talks about excreting antidotes from children to make burning purple for the mystery rites. If you could find me one primary source, I'll never talk about Ammon Hillman again, and I'll promote your channel for. I'll have you on and promote your channel. I'll do whatever. But the number one thing is I'll never talk. Ammon's name will never come on my.
I'm sure that there's definitely some Galen crazy stuff going on.
No, I've dug through Galen. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
But you know what he'll say? It's from the untranslated.
I'm sure that you've read it all in the Greek too, right?
Well, I mean, I use the TLG for that stuff.
So confident to say that you've read it all. Fair
point. Why can't Ammon show it then? Why can't Ammon show it then? Why can't Ammon show it then? No, he doesn't.
Every time he shows the set.
He's never one. He flashes pictures on the screen that are AI. They're never
not AI. They're literally images that we can take and we can track where they come from. That's what
AI
the
images that he uses of Jesus and the kids.
That I'm working. What?
The AI images of Jesus and the kids that they jacks off to.
I'm talking about the images, not series images. I'm talking about the text.
Yeah. Where is the text that mentions extracting semen from little children for drugs? Where is that?
Well, we'll have to find it.
He's never once provided it. I watched Ammon for years. I used to ask him privately for it. He never would tell me. This is why we stopped being friends. I started getting annoying to him because I care about truth. He doesn't. This is why our friendship
I think
ended.
we all care about truth. We all want
No,
to see
I-
it.
no, we
Like,
don't.
of course,
You care
I
about the
want to see
narrative. You care about a narrative about some ancient narrative that you have in your head. I don't care about truth. I proved that today in the stream. You care about what you want the past to be. You want there to be eunuchs and little boys being raped and used for drugs for rights. That's fucked up.
which is all there in the text.
No, it's not. That's what
Oh,
makes it
yes,
even more.
it is.
That's what makes
It's
it even more
very
fucked up.
much
It's not
there.
that. But you can't name one source. You can't name one source right now.
Clement of Alexandria talks about it.
What does
But
Clement of
let's go
Alexandria say?
ahead. Let's go ahead and
What does
just
Clement of Alexandria say? I have him right here. Protrepticus. He doesn't just named out Clement of Alexandria. All right, listen. Let me be nice to you then. Since you came on here, I'm gonna stop being mean. I'll give you homework, and I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Just provide me one primary
so
source.
much more. Oh my gosh! Just to appease you, I'll give you all the sources that you want. But
Yes.
to be fair, I
And I'll
didn't
make a
have
whole
any
video. I'll make a whole
time to
documentary
prep,
on it.
and you wasted all of my time because I thought that I was going to be working with Greek with you, and
We
that's
were
not
working
really
with
what.
Greek. What do you mean? We were going through
No, that
basic
we were
101.
working with actually translating stuff, not disproving stuff. My intention was to explore
Well, I just think if somebody,
rather than
sped
fight and
through this book,
argue, kind
I
of.
think if somebody sped through this book as fast as you did, you would be able to catch on to some of these things that Ammon's saying. That's my whole point of this. It's like there's our basic things that he's saying that are objectively false. That anyone who actually understands Greek should be able to notice. And you should be demanding, where's the primary source about about the children being extracted from? How come that's not on his channel every day? He never talks about it. He never brings it up once. People probably think he says it because he talks about it, but he's never actually shown a source in any language that says that prepubescent children their bodies are being used to extract some sort of antidote to make burning purple for mystery rites. It doesn't exist. And I'm giving you homework to find it for me. And I'll make a whole documentary on it, and I'll shut up and I'll talk about Ammon ever again. That's my promise.
We'll create that.
And I'm glad you came on here. I respect you for coming on here, but I got to be honest about this stuff. That's all.
No, I get it. I understand that it's stuff that we got to figure out. I would like to see it plainly too. If we're being honest, like, yeah, of course. I want to see it all straight up. Yeah. But, this is just the stuff that I'm sharing is the stuff that I've been researching. I'm okay with being disproven. I'm okay with you showing me these sources, like about the boy and about Satan. Yeah, like let's have a discussion about it. That's great. But I don't think there is any sort of deception. I think that we're both seeking in the same wavelength. So. But I do appreciate you for taking the time.
What's the name of your channel again?
A Priestess of Hecate.
Does it come up when you search it on YouTube or?
Probably. Doesn't matter either way.
Priestess of Hecate. Because I want at least, this is like 700 people watching. At least I can do is show people, get some eyeballs on your channel. Maybe I can do this. I can look through my when we talked in the, what is it called? Is this it right here? Okay, I found your channel. Okay, good. All right, so I'll even subscribe. How about that? I'll even subscribe. I just subscribe. Because even though I hate what you guys are doing, I think you guys are bullshitting people. I at least want to pay. Maybe I should pay attention more, or maybe, I don't know. I'll try. But I just subscribed. Everyone check her out. There's some very interesting videos on here. I was watching this one. I think I watched a couple other one more over here. But yeah, so you guys can definitely, I'm just trying to get eyeballs. The least I can do for you coming on is everyone subscribe here. Let me actually put the link in the chat, and I'll put it in the description as well. How about that? So anything you're working on, you want to tell people about?
Yeah, I'm just reading a lot. I'm reading sources. I'm reading Iamblichus next, and I've been trying to be exposed to as many texts as I can. I'm working with the Soma library. We are transcribing and creating a consolidated place for all of the live streams that Amin's done, and then tracing all the source text that he's doing. So you can check that out. And yeah, just doing that, and yeah, studying and being artist and mom, and yeah, that's all I'm about.
All right. Well, that's it for. Actually, you could go. I'm going to read some super chats, and because
Sure.
I didn't want to ignore them, but I don't
Yeah,
want
go
to.
ahead.
I don't want to cut our conversation up. So, but thanks for coming on, and hopefully you can provide me those sources, and we can move from there.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Much respect, by the way. Do you mean to kick you off, or? There we go. All right. I respect her. I'm not going to talk bad about her after she's gone. That was it. I'll just let that sit as it was. Let people decide for themselves what they think about that. By the way, notice how Amin was in the chat, and he as soon as I saw him and I called him out, he just ran away. Why aren't you here defending this stuff, Amin? Why is she here defending it? Why do you have your priestess here? Why can't you bring the sources, dude? Why can't you provide evidence for your things? He just runs away. That's why he'll never debate me. He doesn't want to, he won't come on here. He has nothing. Nope. Because he has nothing to gain. Absolutely nothing to gain from coming on here and doing exactly what just happened just now. Me providing sources for things that go against what he says, and him not having any sources for the things that he's claiming. And he just continues to provide. This is how he operates. So, let's start from the top. Porphyry, Timotheus, thank you for the 10. I'm a pagan and Indo-European autodidact. I think you and Amin might both be right. Yeah, right. I can have a real linguistic discussion, and I'm not eating out of the hands. Let me on. Whatever. I mean, maybe we can. Yeah, let's. If you want to have a real discussion about this, maybe we will one day. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just think there's nothing of value anymore from Amin anymore. Like nothing. Amin is chasing skirts, but the gods use us for all of their own purposes. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Setzil, thank you for the super chat. Oh, by the way, people are jumping. Oh yeah, I kicked people off before. I'm gonna be able to start letting people on. So let's have some people jump on. Josh Ford, how's it going? Let me just finish a couple more of these super chats if you don't mind, and we'll get you in a second if you don't mind. A few people are waiting for these.
Well, you should read mine first.
Which one is yours?
Here. First of all, you mentioned a text, and it's got this word odontus in it, and you're talking about the ages.
Oh, this is the one right here. Okay, yeah.
That one of the very first ones you pulled up. Yeah, you pulled it. It has this word odontus. It's talking about the teeth and the aging and the maturity of the teeth and the age. You didn't read that, did you?
What source are you talking about? Let's pull it up.
You pulled up one talking about the ages, and it's got this word odonton. You see it?
Yeah.
It's one of the first things you pulled up about the ages. You didn't mention anything about the teeth, but you wanted to talk about how it.
Okay, no. Let's get through it right now. Let's go. Let's do it right now. Neanos.
But listen, I sent another super chat that's actually more important than this. Like, honestly, I'd rather get to that.
Well, you just brought up something, and I want to address one by one.
Okay, you want to look at that, but this other one is more important. Like,
what's the other one?
Can you see if you could skip to it? I sent one more.
Where? Oh, the same from the same name. This one, right?
Same name. Yep.
Semitic letter names are 18th century invention.
Yeah, Neil. Did you know that Semitic letter names are an invention of Egyptologists in the 18th century? Did you know that?
What do you mean? What do you mean letter names?
There's no textual source. There's no Semitic text that lists an abjad with the letter names like Aleph, Beta, Gimel. That's made up. That's completely made up by 18th century Egyptologists, Neil. And you neglect that. Every time you talk about the evolution of the alphabet.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Your theory about the letter names for Semitic letters like Alpha, Beta, Gimel, those are made up.
No, the word Aleph
they are mnemonics. They are mnemonics, Neil. They're made up mnemonics.
Stop.
They're not.
The word Aleph means
It means cow. It means cow.
Yes,
that's what it means. So it's not a letter name.
And
there's
bet
no
means
text.
how.
We have no textual source that has those letter names
Those
listed
words,
next to an abject.
mean
You don't
those
have a single
things.
source.
Those words mean those things.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's a mnemonic invented by 18th century Egyptologists, Neil.
You think that
You're
doesn't mean
ignoring that. You think Egyptologists in the 18th century...
You're an idiot. This is flat earth shit.
No.
Flat earth shit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Can you pull up a text that says Aleph next to the letter Aleph that you think it is? No, you can't, because it's an invention by Egyptologists.
Because they're not. There's nothing in Greek like that either.
So because Aleph sounds like alpha, Neil,
there's nothing in Greek like that either.
Came first. Do you mean the letter alpha in Greek doesn't mean the letter A? It means cow, Neil.
It means cow. It comes from Aleph, dumbass.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean cow.
Does.
It means the letter name
You're
alpha.
crazy.
Dude,
you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. Text, Neil.
You're an idiot.
Text that lists
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You don't have alpha, beta, gimel in a row next to an
up. Shut up, dude. Aleph means cow, dude. Or ox. It literally the symbol for the Aleph comes from that word. I'll show you.
And love 3,636 dropped $5.
Aleph meaning cow, ox, and bat. Watch this.
Has cried enough?
So you can see this right here. Okay, so you can see this right here. Let me see if I can pull this up. Where's the? Look at this. Okay. Look at this.
That is an 18th century invention.
No, but these are real, though, dude.
No, you don't have an ancient text that lists.
You don't know how to do research. You don't know how to do research. These are real inscriptions that exist.
No, you don't have an inscription that says.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
you do. You have these.
No, you don't have an abjad that says Aleph next to it. That's an 18th century. What you're looking at, that's an 18th century invention, Neil, by Semitic scholars.
I'm not talking about the. Dude, you're so dumb.
Looking at.
I'm not talking about the list, you fucking idiot. I'm talking about the actual origin of these words. Are you stupid?
Those words are Semitic words, but they're mnemonics that Semitic scholars apply to that abjad.
Exactly, you fucking dumbass. I'm not talking about the list. That's 18th century. The list.
The phonetic pronunciation for the letter A doesn't mean cow. It doesn't mean cow.
Are you a flat earther?
No, I'm not, Neil. But you don't have a single Ugaritic text, Akkadian text, or any
Ugaritic doesn't use the alphabet, dumbass.
Yeah, they're all abjads. And they don't have letter names either, Neil. That's an invention by Egyptologists. You have a single text that lists the letter names that says... You don't have one that says Aleph, Beta, Gimel.
You're unbearable. You're retarded. You're retarded. You don't know what you're talking. You're retarded.
You are fucking dumb. And don't say that word. You sound really dumb.
Get off my channel, dude. No. Seriously, you want to deal with your first super chat or no? This one? Because what you said was, I'm not talking about the list, you idiots. I'm talking about the origin of those words are Hebrew. You just admitted it.
No, they're not Hebrew. They're Aramaic. So Aramaic is
Aleph not a Hebrew. Is Aleph not a Hebrew word?
No, dude. Aramaic is the origin of the Hebrew letters. So they were writing in Aramaic, not fucking
Phoenician.
Hebrew. So are you saying Hebrew as a dialect didn't derive from Aramaic? It's
no.
So they also wrote in Akkadian.
They come from a common source. You don't know what you're talking about.
I have an Ugaritic source that talks about the purple, Neil. Do you want to hear it?
Neil?
Ugaritic text that talks about the purple?
Yes.
Ugaritic source. Burning purple.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I want to see it. I also want to know what you're talking about here with this.
Spell this out. It's called KTU 1.32. So I. And it's lines 12 through 30. I'm going to read you the English translation of this Ugaritic text. It says, the virgin Anat prepares herself. She anoints herself with henna and ambergris. She clothes herself in garments of saffron and murex purple dye. Beneath her, heads roll like balls. Above her, hands fly like locusts. The hands of warriors like swarms of grasshoppers. She binds the heads to her back. She ties the hands to her belt. She plunges knee-deep in the blood of soldiers, up to her thighs in gore of quick warriors. With a bow, she drives away the weak. With her club, she drives out the wounded.
Dude.
Is that what you're looking for?
There's purple everywhere in antiquity. The word purple, is that's it? The word purple?
The Phoenician means purple, Neil. So where's that coming from?
Holy shit, everyone knows this.
Okay, so where's the origin of purple dye, Neil? It's from Crete.
I want to pull up this source.
The oldest production sites are in Crete, Neil. They're not in fucking Tyre.
They're in Tyre and Crete. They're in both spots, you idiot.
No, but the oldest Murex production is in Crete.
Is your brain gone, dude?
That comes much later.
Your brain is gone, dude.
So your Israelite religion that comes much later is a derivative of Canaanite and Phoenician culture that came from Crete. You're lying to yourself, dude. Yes,
Canaanite
it came from
culture
Crete.
didn't come
The
from Crete,
purple
dude.
dye. Did you just read this Ugaritic text that I just showed you? Did you look at
It
K2,
literally says she put purple on herself.
KTU?
It says
Purple
she put
murex and
purple on herself.
saffron. Purple murex and saffron. We see that
That's
again
the
in
royal
other
color.
texts
That's the
talking
royal
about
color.
witchcraft. We
Oh
see
my God, dude,
saffron
you are
and
so
purple
dumb.
dye. We see that.
You are so dumb. He's unbearable. This dude's unbearable. Unfucking bearable. You can't even talk to. He's retarded. He's like completely she put purple on her. Therefore, that's burning purple now. She put purple. Everyone knows that the royal color is purple. Get the fuck off. Look, he's still talking to himself down there. He's still talking to himself on the bottom of my screen, and nobody can see him. He's just talking to himself. No, dude, dude. I'll bring you back up for this last part, but first of all, I want to see your source, and you're gonna shut up, or I'm gonna fucking mute you. Where's your source?
For
what's
what?
The name of this? What's the name of the Ugaritic source?
Okay, let me look it up.
Can you send me a link in the private chat that you were reading it from, so I can just go straight to
it real quick. It's
in the private chat. Send me the link so I can look it up. There's a private chat on the bottom right.
Yeah, here. Let me just paste
Just
this in here. Look this up
I want
for
to
you,
show
buddy.
you why this is stupid.
No, look it up, buddy.
Show me your source that you just pulled up.
I just texted it to you. Did you click the chat?
Yeah, but how did you? Where were you reading it from? I want to be able to read what you're reading.
Do you want?
Yeah,
I can give you the Ugaritic transliteration as well. Here, 1 second.
I don't care about that. I'm not denying that your translation's wrong. I want to see what you're reading.
Here's the Ugaritic text. I'm going to send it to you as well. Look, it's in the chat. So go Google that. Go verify it if you want. I just read the English translation of that tablet.
What's in the chat?
In the studio chat.
Oh.
Studio chat.
Okay, then you give me a link now. Okay.
It's not even a link. It's just just look up that tablet. It's called KTU.
How do I search this tablet though? What am I finding it from?
Google KTU 0.13.
Yeah, a bunch of articles come up. I don't know which one you're looking at. So I'm trying to ask you, which one are you looking at?
Literally look up that tablet.
Okay, so KTU, what is it again?
KTU it's 1.3, and I need you to put Roman numeral 2. So II.
I can't search for that though. I need to find what you're reading. I need to see what you're. No, there's all these different articles about it. I can't find the actual source. It's like you're just. You know what I mean? I can't click on this stuff.
Other people are finding it. Do you want to put it into an AI or something? Look it up.
Give me a link to find the source so I can look at it. It's that simple.
Do I need to Google it for you? KTU.
Shit. Send me a link to see what are you looking at. I'm trying to ask you, what are you looking at? If I type that in, a whole bunch of shit comes up.
It's from the Ugaritic Ball Cycle Volume 2.
I know this.
Okay, so why are you saying you don't know it?
Well, I have the ball
section of the Ugaritic Ball Cycle. It's talking about the goddess Ammonite, violence.
I know this. I'm asking you, what is the link that you're looking at so I can look at the same thing as you? You're just telling me to go find it on my own. I don't know. There's a million different articles about this.
I'm saying the tablet where you can view this is called KTU. Number 2. I just sent it to you, Neil. It's called KTU. That's the archaeological. That's
I know, but I'm already
citing this text. That's what they look up. I've given you.
I don't think you're. Are you not grasping this? I'm trying to ask you what is the page you're looking at that I can see the same thing you're looking at. You're giving me the name of the
ball cycle.
I know, but I need to see what you're looking at. You understand what I'm saying?
It's in lines 12 and 30. Lines 12 and 30, Neil.
No, I'm asking you, what literally website are you using to find this? How did you find it?
I looked up the tablet and I got the transliteration, and that's what it said. And not only that,
where did you get it from? Where did you get it from?
I first heard about this story from someone named
this is all PDFs I'm finding.
No, it's not PDFs. It's actually something I heard
to find out what are you looking at?
Actual PhD scholar.
I think I found it. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if this is from Tumblr. I had to find it on Tumblr, which is weird. Here. Okay, so Anat's preparations. Here it is. 7 girls, coriander perfume, and purple cloth. There it is. So that's it. She puts purple on, and that makes it burning purple.
You're not reading KTU tab. You're not reading the Sumerian tablet.
This is a KTU 1.3.
You're reading a Tumblr translation of it?
I don't know what you're looking at. I'm trying to ask you what you're seeing so I can get the right one. I'm not denying your translation. I'm just saying if I look this up, I get a whole bunch of shit for it. I don't know what you're looking at is what I'm trying to say.
It's further down in the text. It's not in the preparations. It's during the bloodbath when she's called to slaughter a bunch of people for Baal.
Okay, here it is right here.
It's part of the Ugaritic.
Decorate yourself with purple cloth, which takes thousands of fields to harvest from the sea.
No, scroll down more. And yeah, that's just more proof that Ammon's right. Like,
why? Everyone knows about purple, dude. No one's denying purple exists.
Yeah, but it came from Crete. So you've been denying that.
What does this have to do with Crete?
No, I've never. They literally wrote this down in Ugaritic.
Oh my god, I'm losing my brain cells. I'm losing my brain cells. I know they make purple in Crete.
Man, I'm making the gears work.
Do you think you're a fucking idiot? Do you think purple is only made in one place?
The origin of purple production is from Crete.
That it could be. I don't care if it is. I'm not asking where.
I'm telling you, it's spread out later into the Levant.
I don't care about that. I'm not talking about where purple came from.
You don't care about archaeological chronology.
That's Are you all right? Are you okay, dude? What does this have to do with burning purple? If Crete's the place it came from.
So we know. That the virgin goddesses in those religions, in the Minoan religions, we know they were snake goddesses, right? You don't think the drugs and the priestcraft and the purple, you don't think that was part of that Minoan culture?
So there you go. There's the answer. You just imagining things that you can't provide sources from.
No, that's not imagination, sir.
Hold on, shut up. So number one, he says, Crete is the originators of making purple. By the way, we know for a fact. We even have the archaeology. We can see the primary sources write about this. Herodotus writes about this. Homer writes about this, that purple was being produced in Tyre and Sidon. That's why it's called Tyrian purple. Now he's saying first it came from Crete. Okay, maybe it did. But what does that have to do with burning purple being correct? He finds a source about a knot putting purple cloth on herself, and that somehow means Ammon's right. That children are being extracted from drugs to make burning purple because she puts on a purple cloth in a different text? Dude, Julius Caesar puts on a purple cloth in one of the sources. Who the fuck cares? No one's saying that people don't put on purple cloths. I mean, what the fuck is this shit, dude? What the fuck is this shit, dude? Look at this guy. He's going crazy on the bottom of my screen right now trying to get back up here. Do you not understand what I just said?
Listen, do you know Jesus Christ was practicing an inversion of that? So you're asking what does it have to do with that? So you don't think that the drug use, that the witchcraft was going on? So Jesus is using drugs. He's screaming for an antidote for drugs and he's caught with a boy that in a garden.
You're just repeating Ammon shit, dude. You're just repeating Ammon shit. You're just repeating Ammon shit.
And at that time, he's running out.
He's just repeating the same bullshit. Jesus was thirsty on the cross. Therefore, Ammon finds a source that says, if you take this drug, you get thirsty. This is Ralph Ellis shit right here. This is literally Ralph Ellis shit. In one source, I don't know, maybe Galen, who knows? In one source, Galen says, if you take this one drug, you get thirsty. And then Jesus on the cross says, I thirst. And they give him the vinegar. So therefore, he took this other drug that Galen's writing about. It's Ralph Ellis tier crazy absolute nonsense. It has nothing. These people are just imagining their own world in the past. They don't even care. They don't care. They just want this stuff to be true. All right, let's see what he means about odonton. I don't know what he meant. It seems like as soon as I brought it up, though, he wanted to change the subject because I think he is. I don't think he actually can defend this. Let's see if I can find what source was this, dude? Odonton. Let me see. What is the one with the numbers on it? You said it was the one with the numbers on it. Let's see. Which one was it? Here, let's bring this idiot back up for another second. Yeah, which one was it?
It was one of the, you were trying, because I've seen you use the same argument before. And it was the same time you started falling out with Ammon because you thought you were right about this age thing. Literally, it talks about the odonton or the teeth. It's talking about how that number that it's not talking about the age. It's talking about the number of teeth, dude.
No, it's not. This one right here. Come on, this one. It literally says a cosi, a
Where
tia.
I can't see it if you're showing it.
Okay. Where does it say anything about teeth here?
Do you see odonton? Look for the text that has odonton.
It does.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not
talking
showing a different text, dude. Where it says,
I'm not seeing the
it
text.
literally
That's
says
what
the Pythagoras divides human life anthropobion autoi. It says pais e cosi etia. Childs are up to 20 years.
Yeah. So what about the odonton?
Where is it? Where is it?
It's in your text. You want to put it up on the screen?
I'm looking at this text, dumbass. Where is it on here? So why is it? Wait. You're so fucking dumb. You don't even get it. You just made a claim that this is not about ears. It's about teeth. Yes?
Yeah, but you're not even showing the text up on the screen.
You know what this word means right here? What is this word right here? Etia. You know what it means?
Are you showing it in the stream?
You know what
I
this
can't
word
see
means? Etia. E-T-E-A.
Hey, you hear that? I can't see it in the stream, right?
I'm showing you. E-T-E-A. Etia.
I can't see it.
Do you know what the word etia means in Greek? You don't have to see it. I'm telling you. You don't know Greek then? You don't know the word etia, basic word? It means years, dumbass. But
you know odonton? It's in the same text that you're talking about the years.
No, it's not. It says years in the text.
I saw it in the text that you flashed up, Neil, and you don't want to flash it up.
It says years in the fucking text, you dumbass.
Odonton. It's talking about the teeth.
Let's find the other one that has
Find the one that says odonton.
But why? But hold on a second. Your brain's not working. I'm asking you to deal with this source right now.
What?
It has nothing to do with the odonton. So is it about teeth or is it about ears? Do you not see?
I'm saying you did not read the source and you assumed that it was about the ages.
Do not see how
it's really about teeth.
Oh, here. Can you see it now?
Yeah, here we go.
I don't know why it wasn't coming up.
It's not this one.
Oh, but I'm asking you to deal with this text right here. A cosi, a tia.
Okay, those are all different words for child, Neil. They're arranged that way.
What are you talking about?
So pais, years.
What are you talking about? It says years, dude. A tia, years. Are you dumb?
Yeah.
The word years.
No.
It has the word years in it, dumbass. It has the word years in it, dumbass. Do you not know how to read Greek?
Dude, that is not what I'm talking about.
Well, what does this word mean then, dumbass? What does this word mean, dumbass? Answer the question.
You think it's talking about years? Pious 20.
It says years.
So pious means 20 years, Neil? Pious means 20 years.
Pious is up to 20. Pious is up to 20. Pious is up to 20.
No, it's not. It's talking about 20 teeth. It's talking about 20 teeth, Neil. It's talking about 20 teeth. Because if you go to the next text, you're going to see what I'm saying
here, bro. Where's the word teeth in here, you dumbass?
It's in the next text because what's
a different text. Dude,
why is it the
not even the same fucking text, you dumbass.
Show the next fucking text.
What does that have to do with this text? What is that?
Not this one. Look, he's talking about 20 years.
Yeah.
It's not talking about the years of their life. It's talking about.
All right, we're gonna go to slide. I'm gonna go to slide.
Look, the pice.
Look,
in those years, he has 20 teeth. When he's a child, you understand when he's a pice and neanos.
Hey, dumbass. Shut up. Hey, retard, shut up, dude. You're dumb.
It says 20 in that year. That's literally what it says. 20 in the year.
Look. This is the text you're talking about, Philo?
Let's see. No, it doesn't say odonton. No, it's not.
Right here, it does.
Oh, here we go. Articus 7, eteon, odonton, ekbolas. What's that say, Neil? Pice, paideon. So when they have 7 teeth.
It says paideon has
so an infant has 7 teeth.
They emerge
teeth, right, Neil?
No, it doesn't say 7 teeth. Oh my God!
He has 21 when he's a neaniskos, huh?
No, it doesn't. That's not what. That's not. You're not reading this correctly. It's not what it says.
Oh,
dude.
I'm not.
No, it says when teeth begin to emerge. No, it says at age 7 when teeth.
Paideon 7. So he's got.
What does this word mean? What does this word mean? A crease.
And then it goes next. A child.
Hold on. Shut up.
He's got 9 teeth.
What is? Shut up, dude. What does this word mean? A creased 7 eteon.
First, it means first 7 years.
What does this mean? Years. Yes, you idiot. It means years.
Yeah. So when the child is 7 years old, his teeth come in. Neil, is that your point?
Up to 7
and then the
years,
next one says pious.
Up to 7 years, his teeth grow in. You idiot.
So when he's 7 years old, his first teeth come in, Neil. So he's a pious. So he's a paideon. He's an infant.
7 years old is when his teeth start to grow in fully.
No, it doesn't say fully.
Yes, it does.
It's talking about 7 teeth.
No, it doesn't. You're such an idiot. You're so wrong. Every scholar has ever came across the world
it's talking about 7 teeth. It's talking about at the age of 7. That's when his teeth emerge. And then what's the next one say, Neil? At age 9.
Semen. Doesn't talk about. It's not talking about
gonos. What's his gonos, Neil?
It's saying
when
he starts to grow.
Ekufusios? What's that?
Yes, when he starts to become a man.
So he's going through what? Puberty? He's going through puberty now.
Yes,
no, he's not even in puberty. Because no, dude. You can have puberty starts
so dumb, dude.
Puberty for women starts at 8, dude.
Painfully
Sometimes it starts
dumb,
for 8 or 12, dude. You don't know.
You are so painfully dumb. You are so painfully dumb.
Merakion? Isn't that the female one? Merakion?
No, that means adolescent. It's not a female.
Oh, okay.
It's an adolescent, and they're all before neanos.
What's tris epta, buddy?
What's 7?
Esta tris epta in Mekrion.
It means 30. It means 37. 30
so
up to
how? Dude, no, it doesn't.
It's Tetrakis is 30.
Yep, flash it away, buddy.
Is 30. This is 7.
It's talking about teeth.
You have 37 teeth in your head?
Deontos? What's a deontos?
How many teeth do humans have?
Yeah, they get 33 by the end, I'm pretty sure, right?
49. Old people have 49 teeth, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, 49 teeth, dumbass. 49 fucking teeth, dumbass.
No, you have 20 teeth.
You get 49 teeth through your whole lifetime, dumbass.
You don't. No, you don't.
Yeah,
you get 30.
So by the time you're an adult, you have 49 teeth that grew out of your dumb skull. Yeah.
How many teeth do adults have?
Back, so you get 2 sets of teeth, right? That's what it's talking about.
No, it's not.
And you're reading a mistranslation in English.
No, you're so stupid. Yeah. It doesn't say teeth, dude. You're so stupid.
Yeah, it does. Right at the top, it's talking about teeth.
Listen. Let's just
one right at the top.
You're so dumb, dude. You don't know how to do research.
How am I dumb, Neil, when you can't even read it?
Because if we go back to these this is how you do research. You take sources. Let's say you thought that. Let's say in your head, your stupid ass head, you thought that
you wanted to go back because you didn't want to talk about Semitic letters.
Idiot. Shut up. Let's say for a second, you thought it was all about teeth because you don't know how to read Greek. You don't know how to read the word years at Tion. It literally says the word years, but he thinks it's about teeth. So what happens when you find another source that says the same thing as the other source, but it doesn't even mention the word teeth once? Do you assume that it's about teeth? How dumb are you?
It's not talking about the years, buddy. You see, it's talking about 49 teeth. You said how many teeth go in your whole 49 teeth in your lifetime, buddy. So you're reading it wrong.
Hold on. I'm not talking about dumbass. I'm on Diogenes Laertius now. What is this saying on the screen? What is this saying on the screen?
You just move shit around.
I know.
I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about Semitic letters.
Because you're an idiot. Because you're a fucking dumbass.
Wait. Stop.
You just debunked your own self, you dumbass.
I'm about to debunk you, Neil.
Go ahead.
Watch this. So, Semitic letter names are an invention by Egyptologists. We know that because
that's the dumbest shit ever. That's the dumb. You're a fucking idiot. Get the fuck off my stage. You're just an idiot. Look at this. These people are so fucking dumb, dude. And they make me cuss and say things that I don't want to say. Like the R word comes out. I'm sorry about that. But I get so fucking mad at these people. They're so infuriating. They're so infuriating, dude. Look at this. It's such simple Greek. Pais ekosi etia. Child. Up to 30 years. That's what the word ekosi means. Up to 30. Etia. Years. Or 4. It's a dative 2-4. Child for 30 years. It's a dative case. So the child for 30 years. You're a child for 30. I'm sorry, 20 years. 20 years. Ekosi. I said 30. Neaniskos ekosi. Neanias ekosi. Geron ekosi. 20. So is he saying you get 20 teeth as a child? Then you get 20 more teeth as a youth? Then you get 20 more teeth as a young man? And then you get 20 more teeth. By the way, the human head does not have 49 teeth in it. You always have around 20 to 30, something like that, teeth. Most people have 20 to 32 teeth or something like that. So he's already debunked in that sense. But number 2, you bring in even if you did think that, even if you were so bad at this that you thought, I think this is about teeth because it mentions the word odon. You got to bring in other primary. This is how you do research 101. You bring in other primary sources and you go, oh, what does Diogenes Laertius say? Oh, he doesn't mention teeth here. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not about teeth. Maybe it's about atia, years. It's in the fucking text. It says the word. These people just deny reality. They deny reality right in front of them. Look at this. Epictetus, you know when he lived, guys? You guys know when Epictetus lived? Stoic? He lived from like 50 AD to like 120 AD. He literally lives at the same time as the Gospels are being written. He's perfectly contemporary with the Gospels. What does he say neanos is? He says, Hote de neanos kai ede epiletelio. You were a youth, you were involved in politics, and kai dikos hotos eleges, and involved in pleading cases. Involved in doing justice stuff. That's what he says. Dikos. That's a child right there. That's a little baby with their first teeth, right?
You struggle to get past Unit 1 drive Ammon.
It's the same guy. That's the same guy. He's trying to super chat me now. Oh man. All right. So let's go to the next guy. You're still here. You're still here, dude. I kicked you out. You're an idiot. You want to? You debunked yourself. You're an idiot. You're a complete waste of time. What's up, Ashes? What's going on?
Hey, why do you have me blocked?
On what? If you're blocked
on your YouTube.
I don't know. Maybe when
I can't even comment in the live, man.
Well, how did you hear then?
I hit the StreamYard link.
Are you like an Ammonite person or no?
I'm me.
Who is this right now?
It's Ashes to Ashes.
Oh, that I blocked you? I blocked you?
Yeah, you cussed me out and blocked me.
When?
A couple months ago. I didn't even say anything that wrong.
Oh. Well, what is your... I mean, I'll unblock you. What is your beef here?
Well, I don't understand why you've had to call people idiots and stupid like 100 times. It's not classy.
I don't care about classy. I'm wearing a Nike hat.
I like your information. I'm listening to where you're coming from. I've listened to you for years.
Ashley, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. But these people deserve it. They're liars. They don't care. They're full of shit. They're just making stuff about the past that doesn't exist. And if you show them they're wrong, they just deny reality. They do not deserve respect at all.
They're really good people.
No, they're not. They're not.
They are really good people.
Liars and narcissists are good people.
Neil,
you think
my husband walked out on me with 3 kids, and all those people sent money and helped me. All of them. Not one Christian, not one person cared. These are good people. I know them personally. I know Madalena personally.
I think a lot. This is what I think about that. This is actually a fair point. I think a lot of the people who follow him are good people who are just really stupid and they don't know how to check what Ammon's saying. I feel bad for those people. They're probably all good people. Ammon is a liar and a sociopath and a narcissist who just wants people's attention, and he just wants you to worship him, basically. And so he lies to people because he wants to come off as, look, I found all this stuff and all the scholars are lying to you, and I'm the only real one telling you the truth. It's actually enticing to find someone like that, especially people who are like, kind of outcast type people. They are attracted to that, and he uses that against them. So I'm not even talking about the followers or the people who sent you money. Did Ammon send you money?
No, but I was in Ammon's class, and he was very humble. And the first thing he said in that class was, he said, "I'm stupid. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. Learn for yourself." That's the first thing the man said.
But then on the streams, he says, "I am the chosen one, and I am the one who's coming to do. I'm the one who's going to bring justice and all." He's the chosen one, right? He can contact the muse at will. Like, he's the chosen one. There's nothing humble about that. So I just reject what you just said right there.
Well, I mean, we all say stuff, dude.
I've ever seen in my entire life. The most he should be in the dictionary next to the word narcissist. He is narcissus incarnate.
Well, you can think that, but I mean, I'm not up here defending anybody's beliefs, but I'm saying, like, you're all humans. You're all searching.
Sure.
You're all learning. I don't know why, like, it was so beautiful when everyone was doing it together without the name calling and the, you can't see somebody on a video and know them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I talked to him all the time.
You can't hear somebody say something and block them.
We were really close friends. You want to know why he stopped? You want to know why we're not friends anymore? He doesn't like me because I don't believe everything he says. That's really, I'm 100% that's the truth. when he would, so over the years, I would go, hey, Ammon, where's the source for this thing you said in your stream? Hey, what about can you show me what you said about this? And he would go, over time, he's just getting more and more sick of me poking and prodding because he doesn't exist. And eventually he just got tired of me being someone who cares about the truth rather than just blindly follows him. He doesn't want that. He wants you to blindly follow him. If you start asking him questions, he gets sick of you. That's not a friend. That's a crazy sociopath. That's what that is.
Yeah, I mean, you have great points. I've listened to a lot of your videos. I've listened to him too. I've listened to all sides.
Yeah, I was super good to Ammon as a friend. I was promoting his. I was the first person to promote his channel. When the first day he started his channel, he had 0 subscribers, and I brought him on that day. We did a live stream. I showed his screen. I did the same thing I did to Maddie just now. I said, look, everyone, Ammon just started a brand new channel. That night, he had 200 subscribers overnight. So his first 200 subscribers were from me telling people. Well, he might have had like 2 or 3, like, a few people that he told before the stream. But he literally, I was the first person to start his stream. Now, I'm not taking credit for his success. He's still Ammon Hillman. He still did everything he did. He still had he's still a fascinating character. He's very, I understand why he's successful. He's very entertaining to watch. 100%. He deserves it. And people ask me, should I have Ammon on my podcast? I say yes. What's his name? Ask me that. What's his name again? The guy who's on Joe Rogan. Why am I blanking out on this? Am I good? Kurt. Kurt was like, should I have Ammon Hillman on? I heard you don't like him. No, I said, no, you should have him on. But just know you're getting about 25% truth and about 75% bullshit. He said, all right.
I hear you.
Stop his success. I'm just trying to check him, and tell people he's lying to you. He's not true. It's not true what he's saying. I do the same thing for Dan McClellan, do the same thing for Bart Ehrman. It's not just singling him out. This is what I do. This is my channel. This is my domain.
Yeah, I just wish that everybody could talk about it without it being like so serious. Like, we know a lot of this stuff is allegorical. Like, it's very allegorical. We know that like Philo and people said there's hidden stuff in his text. It's not like, it's so allegorical.
Why would you assume
fighting each other?
Sure. Why would you assume that the allegory is about pedo stuff and outwarding little children and extracting drugs from them? That's if you want that to be the allegory, I have to wonder what is going on in your head.
I don't want that to be the allegory at all.
This stuff is promoted by these people.
Yeah. I mean,
they like it.
I don't want it to be like that.
They want to portray the Eleusinian mysteries as a bunch of people are-warping little kids, are-wording little kids, and extracting drugs from them to get high on. That's what they think the Eleusinian mysteries is.
Tracy Kleiman wrote about that. Do you know who
about
Tracy
them
Kleiman
extracting
is?
Drugs from children?
Yes. And then she ended up dead. She ended up dead.
Oh, then why isn't Ammon dead? Why isn't Ammon dead?
I don't know. I really don't know.
People are revealing the truth. They're ending up dead. It's just nonsense, dude. Look, I know
Tracy Kleiman. I'm not trying to be a follower of anyone. I'm very open-minded, but what I'm saying is I wish that everybody could talk to each other without screaming idiot or
Yeah, let me just address this super chat. I don't know who you are, Aya. I've done this a million times in my channel. I pull up text to translate text all the time on my channel. I just did it. I did it today. This whole stream was me pulling up text and looking at words and ignoring the English and just actually defining what it says. This the whole time I've been doing that. So he's a philologist with 25 years experience. I don't care. I don't care. There are Christian scholars with PhDs. Gary Habermas has been a PhD for 25 years too. He just wrote a book that got peer-reviewed and processed and passed along that says that there's more evidence for Jesus resurrecting than there is for Julius Caesar. That's a 25-year scholar who said that. I don't care that he has a PhD. I don't care how long he's been doing this for. If he's lying, he's lying. Period. Objectively, that's the case. I don't care what you're being so duped by his credentials that it's actually embarrassing to read this. It's actually embarrassing. And as far as debating people, he won't even debate me. So like, well, I don't know what you mean by that. So having an internet connection doesn't mean you know how to read Greek. I can read Greek, so I don't. People who know me know this, and your opinion means absolutely zero. So, and I actually have a hunch that whoever this is doesn't know anything, because if you're this hardcore of a fan of Amon Hillman, you probably don't know a lot about ancient Greek. I'm just saying. There's a few more super chats.
All right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say, hey, like, I remember when this all started.
Yeah. Why did you remember why it started?
You know, I found Amon through your channel.
Most people did actually. Oh, Danny Jones actually. But for the first year or two, it was most people found him through me. I always had his back. I defended him. People were after him from day one. I was always defending him. I always had his back. I had his back against Dan McClellan. I had his back against even Derek. Even me and Derek were at each other's throats because I was like, dude, just leave. Like, that's my boy. Leave him alone, dude. And he just didn't care about none of that. He couldn't take the fact that I didn't agree with him, that the Septuagint was original. That I'll never forget it. We were doing Greek one day. And after we're done, I was like, you know, the Septuagint's a translation. And he was like, oh, no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. And I showed him a manuscript of the Septuagint that's from Oxyrhynchus in Egypt, not the Dead Sea Scrolls, an Oxyrhynchus one. Or no, maybe it was Dead Sea Scrolls one. Let me see if I can find it right now. It's called the Tetragrammaton. Watch this. So I showed him this because this actually debunks the idea that the Septuagint that we have now is the original. Let me show you what I mean. This right here, this fragment from the Dead Sea Scrolls, 4Q120, the Greek is different. It's not the same as the Septuagint that we have today, which is from 1851. So Ammon's been promoting the Septuagint as the original Bible, which is from 1851. And I showed it to him. I said, dude, if you go back and look at these Greek manuscripts from the 1st century BCE, the oldest manuscripts of the Bible in Greek in the world, they do not line up with the Septuagint that we have today. They're different. And then, in fact, the word kurios, instead of the word kurios, it's iota, alpha, omega. See that? Yao. Yeah. So it's Yahweh. And you know what he said to me that day? Damn it, you're fucking good. I'll never forget it. It was one of those weird moments where Amon actually admitted to being wrong. He said, damn it, you're fucking good. And then a month later, I thought maybe I just, I actually gave him some information to chew on. A month later, I watched him on a stream telling people that the Septuagint is the original Bible. And I was like, he didn't even remember it. It's in one ear, out the other. He doesn't care about truth at all. He has a narrative. He cares about the narrative. The naked Jesus in the park at 4 a.m. It's all he cares about is that narrative. That's an axiom of his life. Anything that conflicts with that goes away. It's teeth. It's 20 teeth. It's not ears. It's teeth. Like they deny reality because it conflicts with their narrative. This is what I'm trying to get at. You ask them for a primary source of burning purple, they go, well, look at this source right here where she puts purple cloth on. What? Purple cloth? Who's denying that purple cloth existed? Everyone knows purple cloth existed. What does that have to do with extracting drugs from children, though? He even said, this proves that Ammon's right. Look, Anat put purple on herself. Where's the little children being extracted from? It's ridiculous, man. They just make up what they want in their heads. So
yeah, well, there's people that talked about this stuff before Ammon came out about people that didn't know Greek. Like I said, Tracy Twyman, Russ Dizdar, he was also killed. Rob Skiba. A lot of people have been questioning the whole naked boy thing for millennia, and people have talked about them using kids in this kind of alchemical way. So it's not.
Yeah, Ammon's not
when
the first
Ammon came out,
yeah,
a lot of people do worship Ammon. Okay, I agree. Like people do.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
And I've had to tell people, like, hey, like, there's been people that have written books about the Hebrew and the Greek thing long before. Like,
And it's all
you know,
been
that
debunked.
whole book,
It's all been
Hebrew
debunked by
is
actual
Greek.
scholars. Yeah, that book's been debunked so hard. Like it's like one of the biggest jokes in scholar. People talk about that book like it's a joke. It's like flat Earth. You want to know why? Because we can find the Hebrew matches up with other Semitic languages. If I look at Aramaic and I look at Phoenician and I look at Arabic and I look at Ugaritic and I look at all these different dialects of Semitic languages, you can see them all overlapping and all looking very similar, have similar words, a little bit of tweaks in their vowels or whatever, a little bit of tweaks in certain words. That you can see they all come from a family of languages. So the idea that Hebrew came from Greek and not from those families is bolt batshit crazy. It makes zero sense at all. It's like saying the earth is flat. It is. You might as well be a flat earther than say that Hebrew came from Greek. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can't really say that we know what the earth is. And that's the thing we all need to remember. Like,
yes, we can. People have gone
I've
up there.
left my body. I've left the body and been completely out of this reality and saw that it was nothing like what anything physical that I had learned or comprehended. So all I'm saying is like, hey, these ideas and these questions are not new. They've been brought up over and over. And if we could all find a way to talk without like holding on to these ideas as if we really, really know, because none of us know. None of us. We don't even really know how to speak Greek at all. We don't know how it sounded, you know, and I hate seeing like this fighting between a bunch of people who are all just people that want to learn. Sure, some people may have motives, you know, hidden motives, but you know,
if you really want to learn, you should be looking. You should be asking them. Hey, you mentioned that there's you know, little kids being extracted for these rituals. Can you kind of show me where that is? I'm just trying to get people to think more deeply about these things and be more critical rather than just accept. Oh my God, Amon said it. He's got a PhD. He said it, and you got to like think to yourself. If he's the only one saying this stuff. And I know you mentioned people, some say similar things about the garden scene. I know Morton Smith had his own theory that there was something sexual going on there. He doesn't say it's a kid, though, because he knows that Neanos is a 20 years like an older person. But he thinks there was something sexual happening in the garden. So he's not. I'm not saying Ammon's alone in that, but you got to stick with the evidence, though. Make your theories fine. Stick with the evidence.
I mean, it's a heavy accusation to come out and be like, hey, they're doing this and this. I mean,
provide some evidence for it if you're going to say something that crazy. And you saw Maddie tonight. No offense, I give her respect for coming on here. But when I said, can you name one source that they're extracting drugs from children? And she was like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. But that's a big, you would think if I knew if that source existed, every single Ammonite would know exactly what it is, exactly what passage it is. They would be like, oh, it's from this source right here. Think about it. Nobody can name it because this doesn't exist. Nobody can name it. I'll ask the chat. Ammonites and all the Ammonites in the chat. Name the primary source that has name of the verse, book, and author where the burning purple is being extracted from children to be used for rituals. Doesn't exist. Because if it did exist, while I was friends with Ammon, I would have found out about it and I would have made documentaries about it. Because I'm all about this stuff. I'm all about exposing the truth. I just want it to be real and not made up. That's the difference between me and most of these Ammonites. You think I haven't done videos about the Borborites and the semen Eucharist? I did a whole video on that. I'm the first person to talk about that. The reason why Ammon brings that up so much is because of me. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've watched all those videos. Yeah, I've seen your videos.
No one brought that up before me. And I didn't invent that. This has been known in scholarship for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years people have written about this. But it is kind of less talked about because scholars want to think, oh, it's just a bunch of rumors. So I like to bring these things up. I did a whole documentary on this. My first person I got on Danny Jones, Ammon's first time on Danny Jones, he didn't even bring that up. I brought it up on Danny Jones the first time. And now Ammon's obsessed with it, the Borborites. So I just think it's funny. You guys think I'm like defending the Bible. I'm not. I just want there to be real sources that I can point to and go, look, here's a primary source from Epiphanius. He says that they're doing Eucharist involving semen. Look, it's right there. You can see it for your own eyes. That's all I care about. All this theories and read between the lines. And this source over here says purple. This source from 200 AD says burning. This one from 500 AD says kid. This one from 200 BC says this. And we'll put them all together in a big soup, and we'll make up our own. We'll just say they all intertwine for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, didn't they used to castrate themselves to Cybele?
Yes.
And there were like young boys doing that, and
yes, Addis, the Addis cult. But everyone knows this. Addis, the Addis cult. So.
Yeah. Do you have a way that I can email you?
Yeah, my email address is on my channel in the description part.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna compile a bunch of stuff that I found in Tracy Twyman's books that kind of they dance around this topic, and it's just interesting. Some of the sources that she pulled. She had a book translated that was like the Hamstall Purg book. She had a Latin book translated that was about the Knights Templars. And the guy that translated this book like started getting haunted, and it was like crazy what was in this book. And they were doing all this weird ritual, like crazy inverted Christian shit. And he wanted to like remain anonymous. He was like, dude, this is scary. Well, when I started reading the book, all this crazy stuff started happening too. Like it was legit. Yeah, it was insane. And I went completely vegan, raw vegan, for 6 months after reading this book. It literally it shook me to my core, dude. This is before I ever heard of Ammon. So before I ever heard of Ammon, I had already heard about all this stuff without knowing anything about the Greek. So then I started to learn Greek, and I'm really open-minded. And I didn't want to hold on to any ideas, but these ideas have been present. There's been a lot of people that have talked about them and ended up dead. A lot. Like I can give you a list of people, and some of them I personally know. And every one of them, they were questioning it because of what we're seeing now with like the whole pizza thing.
Yeah. Well, send me that stuff. I'll take a look at it, and I appreciate you coming out here, being a little bit, being kind of toning it down a little bit. Appreciate that.
Thanks for being cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of respect for you, and please unblock me.
All right, I'll look out for you in there. Ashes. Okay, I'll look out for you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right, Liam Vest. Let me just read a couple more of these supers real quick. Hal Hecate, do we agree? Demeter has cried enough? Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Crash Meta Religion, thank you for the 5. Who do you have more respect for, Ammon or Jay Dyer? I swear, I have more respect for Jay Dyer. 100%. Even though that's saying a lot. He's carrying a lot. Look, I have a lot of things that I disrespect Jay Dyer for. I think he's kind of a sophist. But I do think he's like somewhat not a liar. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. He believes in what he's saying, I think. And I think I don't know. I just do. I don't know how to answer that question. That's a really hard question, actually. But thank you for that. Julianus88, thank you for the 5. Dead Sea Scrolls prefer Belial and Mastema over Satan. I don't know if that's Dead Sea Scrolls. I know that the Latin texts do that. So there's these New Testament Apocrypha books. There's a whole bunch. I have 3 of these volumes. They're huge. And oftentimes Satan is called Mastema. I think that's a Latin thing. I could be wrong though. But both map onto Greek Diabolos. Sirach has, Sirach is a Greek text though. There's a later Hellenistic text. I was talking about the original Septuagint having only one mention of Satan is in Kings. The other 25 times Satan is translated into Diabolos. So that's how we know it's the Greeks. Diabolos is Greek. Satan is Hebrew. It's very easy to see that. Let me see. I got one more, and then I got a couple more after this. But I'm just catching up for now. Any connection between Judas and Melanthius? I don't know. Are they both betrayers? Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. I think so. I think people have made this argument before. I think there's people who've done this. Thank you for that super chat, though. That's a good question. I have to look into that. Thank you for the $2. Wes, thank you for the 5. Are the Ammonite cultists of today attempting to worship as the Ammonites of the past? Do they worship Milcom? The god Ammon is from that's funny. Maybe they don't even know it. They're just like being sucked into this cult from the ancient world, and they're actually the real Ammonites. That'd be funny. What is this purple stuff? It doesn't exist. There's a medical text that says if you take purple snails and extract purple from it and burn it and use it caustic, you can heal your stomach ulcers and clean your teeth with it. That's it. There is no other source about burning purple being used in cultic activity anywhere in antiquity. Zero. And then I got Porphyry coming up next, and then that's it. So then we caught up. All right, Liam, what's going on, man?
Hey, yo, Neil. First of all, man, huge fan of your work, bro. I love your attitude.
Really? That's a first. Most people.
Yeah, man. Seriously, I think you're super down to earth, and I think your work. I don't mean to, be like theatrical here, but I think it could very well contribute to a kind of new renaissance of profound philosophical thought, man. So
Wow.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. That's huge, dude.
Very much appreciated. I would just like to comment. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I just feel that the whole background and theme of what Ammon points out to is just it's just terribly distasteful. Just to sort of base your whole personality and your discourse around something that's so. It's just so terribly ugly, don't you think?
You're preparing 30 slides from I'm guessing he uses whichever AI site, Midjourney. You're preparing 30 Midjourney slides of Jesus and a naked kid with purple all over them. Like, what does that look like? You sit on your computer and go, give me a Jesus with a naked kid with purple. Oh, yeah, this will be so funny for the stream. You're right. When you think about how this is all playing out, it's so weird, especially when you can't provide a source for it.
Exactly, and that's a very important contribution that you make. Of course, as a sort of ignorant outsider myself, I can only comment on the sort of aesthetic, sort of emotional ugliness that I sense from it. So that's why your contribution is so important. Additionally, I feel like these people don't really respect the power of the logos at all, because this is the phenomena that they're trying to invoke or implant in people's minds, and it's terribly.
Their logos is pure reason. Another transition is account. Now, the reason why I like that transition, the word account, because you can do word, you can do reason, there's a whole bunch of things you can translate logos as. But I like the word account because it's saying you're giving an account for reality. The logos is the account of reality. It's giving an account. It's being truthful. It's being honest. It's being objective. It is the cutting. It's like cutting through the BS. That's why the gospel authors are trying to portray Jesus as cutting through the BS of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. That's what the logos is supposed to do. It's like a Superman thing.
Do you consider the logos to be purely a reflection of reality, or does it have a sort of creative, generative element?
The latter.
Yeah.
That's how it's described by Heraclitus. That's how it's described by later Platonists. It is the creative. It's the creative function of reality. It's the furthering of the. It's the what does he say? He says it's the creative further the pushing forth of reality itself. Maybe I can pull up Heraclitus, but that's kind of what it is. It's a creative. It's an action thing. It's something that's going toward. Aristotle likes the word telos.
Yeah.
It has an end game. There's an end game involved. It's moving towards something good. Something is going to be at the end. Eschatology, that type of thing.
Yeah. I hear you. That's very interesting. Just as an additional point, I was just going through Jason Georgiani's book Metapolemos, and within that book, he even cites he references the work of Ammon, and he kind of aligns his thematic project to a certain extent with the kind of thing that Ammon rights, which it's sort of disconcerting for me because I think that might be a bit of a misstep. But
yeah, I actually talked to Giorgiani about that, and I was like, like this is all bullshit, right? And he was like, well, I had the reason why I'm interested in it, and he gave his reasons why he's interested in it. I think he understands.
Sure.
I think he knows the sources of it don't exist. I think he just kind of is like fascinated by that this guy's actually coming out and saying this. That's kind of what happened there. Look, I don't care. I'm not like bad about it.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that sort of.
I don't care about that.
Sure.
Here, this is what Heraclitus says, by the way. I pulled it up. This is a translation of the fragments. Through this logos, yet men understand when they hear it for the first time, for it becomes in all accordance with his word. Men seem to have experience to make trial of the words and such a dividing each thing according to its kind, showing how it truly is. But other men know what they meet when they're doing when awake, when they forget that. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. It's a different passage where he says. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not thinking of. Maybe it's not Heraclitus. But yeah, this idea, it's like a creative thing, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I've had thoughts myself that that the creation of a kind of post-atheistic mindset is ultimately what's very much necessary. Like in the Nietzschean vein, that after the death of institutional religion, known as the death of God, we'd go into this current phase where we are now, of this sort of mechanistic, sort of without telos, without any kind of aesthetic catharsis. This phase we're in now of just nihilism that's very sort of prevalent. That we should direct our attention to the utilization of the logos for the creation of a post-atheistic sort of inspiring ontology or metaphysical structure that might sort of be, in some way contagious, that might sort of animate people with a new kind of perspective or something like that. Is just the sort of thing that I'd like to throw out there, And I feel that speaking about the logos and engaging with ancient texts and things like that is a very important part of the process of the sort of creation of something, meaningful beyond atheism, essentially, but that doesn't like revert back to the old religions that are internally inconsistent on many levels. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, it's like the I think Philo describes it as an ordering principle. Like you have the cosmos and it's all flux, and the logos is made to put things into order and to bring things together, and also to divide things up. So you have division and unity, both are done, and that's another translation of the word logos, ratio. It has a mathematical function too. So it has all these different functions. Such a fascinating word, because it's used so many different ways. It literally could just mean words, the speech. Logos means speech, words.
Yeah,
speech.
yeah. Like memes, for example, or like another form of logo.
A logos can be a meme, right? Yeah. But it also has that reason, counting, rationality. It's got all these different functions. That's why I always tell people, I think the standard Bibles should stop translating logos as logos and just give it a capital L, logos, transliterate it. Make it into a noun, make it into its own. It should be in our English language by itself in its own way. Everyone should know the word. Yeah, it should have its own word. It should be its own word in English.
Definitely, I think that everyone should use the word logos in a more profound sense, because I think that a real powerful spirituality or philosophy can be based around the concept of the utilization of the logos or the embodiment of the logos and things like that. Just like in a creative sense. But I won't take up too much of your time, Gnostic Informant. Thanks so much for your time, and have a good stream. All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Good talking. Oh, next up we got Nathan. Nathan. What's going on, Nathan?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Am I not going to be allowed on?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, I can hear you right now. You can't hear me?
Oh, see, now I have no audio. I can't hear I can't hear him
Really?
if he's talking to me.
I
Damn,
can hear
that's
you.
upsetting.
So
I'll try to come back on.
I'll try to come back on.
I'll just try to follow that StreamYard link again.
Yeah, man. Try to come back on. Let's see if you can come back on here. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So it is kind of a interesting thing to watch how you have these concepts in Greek philosophy, especially with the pre-Socratics and down to Plato and then Plato's successors, and they're all like coming up with these ideas of rationality and the divine and monism and dualism and all this stuff, and then it just falls into the laps of these Hellenistic Judeans or Alexandrian Judeans, and they adopt it. Philo is a perfect example of this. And then it becomes the whole worldview of Christianity. And now you see people like talking about how Christianity changed the world with all these ideas and all this stuff. And it's like, this stuff was already there. I don't know. Look, there is some truth to the idea that Christianity does transform the world. It does. There is some truth to that. It does in the sense that it changes a lot of the people's worldviews was very aristocratic thinking back then. Like if you were rich and powerful and good looking, the gods loved you. That was a common mindset of the ancient Roman world. And Christianity comes along and sort of flips that on its head and says like, oh, look at Paul. He was really short and he was bald and he was a kind of an ugly guy, but he was full of grace. And oh, look at this person who's a demoniac and Jesus saved them first. And it flips things on its head. It flipped the poles, if you will. Nathan's back.
Oh, hello.
What's going on? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. God's
okay.
Technology is terrible.
What's going on?
Nothing. Okay, so first of all, do you speak a second language? I wanted to ask.
Speak second language?
Speak a second language.
No.
Okay. All right. Because I think it's kind of important for people in this conversation to speak second languages. And I don't mean to be condescending when I say that, but okay. So first and foremost, like a lot of the people are who are on Ammon's side, you're saying that neanos means something other than a young, like somebody under 20, right?
Yeah.
And,
or under 30, in some cases.
Yeah. They're going off of the idea that the iskos is a diminutive. Now, when you speak Indo-European languages, I speak 3, that is a general rule of thumb, but it is not always. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are times when you will use the diminutive in speech that it's kind of a joke. It really kind of depends. Okay. And so just as an example, it's not an example of a diminutive suffix, but a diminutive word. My first time in Rome, I went into this little shop and I ordered a pinza, which is different from a pizza. I was kind of surprised to learn that. But anyways, so
wait, what example was that again?
It's what the guy said when I ordered the pinza. Okay. He said una pizza per il ragazzo qua. A pinza for the boy here. And it's like, bro, I'm 28. Okay. And I had already like lost my hair. So I took my hat off and I was like, se sono ancora un ragazzo, potresti dire ai miei capelli, like if I'm still a boy, can you tell my hair? Because I've lost my hair. Right. Now in Italian, he didn't think that was funny because they use the word ragazzo to refer to like a guy all the time. Mm-hmm. It literally means boy. Okay. But the way you use it when you're talking, it often means a guy. It can mean a guy who's like fucking 40 or something like that, right? So it's like, it is a good rule of thumb that the iskos suffix would mean a diminutive.
Sure. Yeah.
But we have to look at how the word is used in speech. Exactly. Now, when you were talking to the guy earlier who was pointing out the tooth stuff, I said in the chats repeatedly, I am interested in hearing both you and Ammon out because he's saying, no, it's referring to teeth. It's referring to teeth. It's like, well, maybe so. Now you said in this other text, there's no mention of teeth. It's like, that's not strictly necessary. Okay. If I say in an English language text today, he put the kettle on, we all know today that refers to a very specific piece of technology and a cultural concept that exists today that we put a kettle on a stove. We don't say he gingerly walked over to the stove and slowly turned the dial. It's like, no, that's pointless explaining that, right? Everybody knows what put the kettle on means. So it's like, it is possible that it's talking about teeth. I don't know. I haven't seen the other texts. Okay, that Ammon is referring to that has this guy thinking that it means teeth. Okay, but like, it really is kind of one of the things that you said in one of your streams. I really liked it a long time ago. I forget who you were talking to, but you were talking about the Bible and how we know what is originally Hebrew and what is originally Greek, and you said we would really have to go by it line by line.
Yeah.
And you know, as somebody who
book by book, line by line.
I creatively write in my spare time, and it's like, bro, if you've ever written a story, like, you will move sentences around all over the place. That could have originally been in a completely different place, and I put it in this place. You know why? Because it works better.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just basic stuff about writing. Okay.
Sure.
Now, as far as Ammon Hillman is concerned, like I said many times in the chat, I'm a pagan. I do think that he may be onto some things, but I think that you're onto things as well. I need to hear you both out. But I am thoroughly disappointed in his performance this evening. I can't, like, he came into your chat and it's like, okay, man, like, you
come on in.
Me out so he could come in.
Yeah, if you're already here, you're already ready. You should be able to jump on.
Well, no, but it was okay because there was a lag, right? Like you said, no, only Ammon can come on, and it's like, it took me 2 minutes to hear that in the video, so it's like, okay, whatever. There was a lag.
Oh,
like,
okay, I didn't know that you jumped.
Yeah, no, and it's fine.
That's why I didn't ban you. I didn't ban you because I was like, maybe he made a mistake.
Yeah, no, but it's like I was kicked off so he could come on, and it's like, bro, okay, so come on, okay. Now I got into his little Discord for a bit, and I was on one live stream with him, and I heard him talking to all of the people in there, and it's like almost everybody was female, and they all sound like they're eating out of his palm. And it's like, look, man, like, it's nice to have all the ladies eating out of your palm, but like, sometimes you need to come debate with the guys. And he was given that opportunity tonight, and he's like, oh, well, this is disgraceful. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, bro, that's a little disgraceful.
Yeah, you know? if you're going to say that, then tell me what I'm wrong about.
Exactly, because arguments stand on their merit, not on who makes them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, like, I was really disappointed in that. I was also disappointed when I got on his Discord and I asked about the Satan and Saturnus reference. Now, you were saying that, you know, Saturnus can't be the morning star because of all the agricultural references. I disagree that Saturnus is the morning star because I'm more on Jay Dolan's side of this, that the morning star and the evening star are the divine horse twins and everything.
Yeah.
So that's, and also because my primary gods are Yngve, Freyr, and Freya, and so like, I think that he's very much correct in that. But that doesn't, just because they're
two things can be true at once, by the way. You can have, because that's a well-known thing, that the Dioscuri are represented by the two stars. Yeah. You can also have Venus be represented by the same star. You could even have other gods have references being Lucifer or Eos Phoros.
I think a mistake a lot of people make, because I hear even pagans do this today, they say, oh, well, they misunderstood that Venus was appearing in the morning and the evening. And it's like, I don't think they misunderstood it. I think that they understood it's a different, just because it's the same physical body doesn't mean it's the same spirit. It's different. A different thing is happening when the morning star comes into view because the dawn is about to break, and a different thing happens when night has taken over and the evening star becomes visible. So it's like, yeah, it's the same physical body, but the people perceived it as two different spirits, right? Of two different gods. But there, I went on there and I asked about the Saturnus Satan, because he says that in the very first the selection of the Sibyl. That's the series, right?
He's been saying that for a long time. He's been saying that for a long time. That's one of our first headbutts.
Yeah, and I really want to listen to Ammon's stuff, but it's like the way he presents, it's like, bro, if you, and he throws down these sources, he's like, have you read Philuminus? It's like, I've never even fucking heard of Philuminus. But like, if you're reading all these obscure texts and you're like, I've been reading this for 30 years, it's like, okay, why don't you produce a translation of one of these then?
Yeah.
That, like, please, and annotate your translation, because I'm not saying it's wrong, but I would like to see.
Yeah, publish it. Right. Show us.
It's like, where is your trick? He says he's always referencing Galen, and he says like,
oh yeah, he's just like the God of the Gaps people. Or Graham Hancock. We just haven't found it yet. It's in the Sahara somewhere. Well, the same thing. He'll say it's in these untranslated Galen texts. That's where I found it. Okay, well, show us it. Take us by the hand. Put our faces in front of it so we can't deny it anymore.
Well, he says, I'll teach you to do it yourself. And it's like, look, bro, like my dad just died. My grandma just died. I don't have time to do your Greek classes. Okay. I'm trying to sort out my estate. Like this is a lot of shit. My dad was hoarding. I don't have time. I would love to. But if you could produce a translation and then you could like read your own book, like even David Duke had the class to do.
Did just break up? You there? Nathan, you there? I think you broke up or something, dude. Last thing you said was David Duke. Like the Archons didn't like you mentioning David Duke, right? That was kind of funny, but like, hey man, jump back on in a second. I'm gonna throw Patrick on. I'll bring you back on next, man. When you fix that. Patrick, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? I just want to say great stream. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to have bad Wi-Fi signal from where I'm at up in the mountains.
I apologize for cussing and all the stuff, but you know,
no, it's okay.
I get mad and I got to work on that.
As someone who has been your friend for a long time, I just want to point out that I was there with you when you were defending Ammon, and then you and I working through some of the Greek and the primary sources, and you reached out to a lot of scholars. Now, I'm an archaeologist by training. Will admit my Greek is more limited than the classics and other people that work in the primary sources. I'll admit that. But it was pretty obvious early on. Once you started getting a grasp of the language, you started being able to see that, hey, this isn't adding up. And then you went to people that were highly proficient and, you know, again, are at the same level of knowledge as Ammon as far as technical training in the primary source languages. And it unraveled. And I just want to let people know, it's not like Neil's just doing this without having spent a lot of time. And as someone who is, you know, with him on this journey, so to speak, you know, he took a lot of time, was very measured in it. And we've sat down numerous times over evenings, going through the primary sources together on Zoom, working through the language. This isn't him just popping off. He sat down with a lot of scholars, much more knowledgeable than myself, in order to do this. So I just wanted to give you your full credit. And again, I'll keep watching. All right.
Yeah. And like I said, man, I'm just, look, I know I could be a little bit harsh on some of these people, but like, I'm past the point of like, let's have a civil discussion on this. When people we're not even being honest about, like, we don't even know where a source comes from. Like, I'm just saying, I think this is the case about the ancient world. Okay, cool. Why do you think that? What is your sources? Where are you getting this from? I don't have it ready right now. I just lose it. Like, I can't respect that sort of inquiry about the past. It's like you're pushing all this stuff on your channel. You're making these posts. You're leading all these people in. The people are like throwing all these likes and comments, but you don't even know what you're saying. You don't even know where it comes from. You're just repeating what Ammon said. I can't respect it. I can't. It's just, you know, maybe I can work on being a little bit less mean, but anyways. Oh, I think Pat had to go. All right, Pat, thanks for jumping on. So I got an appointment in the morning, and I thought Nathan was back, but I guess he jumped off. Nathan, you still there? But I got an appointment in the morning, so let me see if I can read a couple more super chats. Is there any more up? I don't know if there's any more up. Oh yeah, there's one right here. S Mill, thank you for the 5. Was there an emperor around 300 CE that made people more somewhat egalitarian, that made Christian flourishing possible in the 300s? I think I know what you're thinking of. And that is the Edict of Caracalla. And without the Edict of Caracalla, there would be no Christian. I think Christianity would never, ever, ever, ever even get close to sort of becoming the state religion of Rome. And I'll just pick up the Wikipedia page just to show you what I'm talking about. So the Constitutio Antoniana, is called. So this is the Edict of Caracalla, and it is basically what had happened is there was some theory. I don't know who thought of this, but they said, you know, to unite the empire and to, I don't know, maybe raise more taxes. I don't know what the reason was. There's a bunch of reasons for it. This is an area that I really do want to look into more. They decided that anyone who now lives in the Roman Empire is now a citizen, where before citizenship was granted through your ethnicity, or if it was granted to you by a court. So maybe you join the army as a non-citizen from an imperial province, for example. Imperial provinces is like Egypt, Judea, Gaul is a imperial province. You know, the outside where they think of people as barbarians and they're not Greek speakers, or maybe they, you know, whatever. Those people, they can join the army, they can move up the ranks, they can become a citizen that way. Otherwise, you're not becoming a citizen. You just live in the empire, but you're not a citizen. The Edict of Caracalla in the early 3rd century passed this edict, which literally made everyone, this is a copy of it right here, I guess, papyrus, literally made everyone a citizen overnight. As long as you lived inside the borders of the Roman Empire, you were a Roman citizen. And basically what it did was it opened up the empire for, because now it's like, I'm a citizen. I have rights. You know, I'm whatever. So now something like Christianity, which was sort of an outsider religion, an imperial provinces and all that stuff, could now make its way into the mainstream, because now these bishops were not Roman citizens for the most part. Some of them were. They're called peregrini right here. Peregrini, foreigner, means foreigner. And the most of the first popes, look at the list of popes, and it's not just the popes, by the way. It's all the bishops of all the cities, because you know the pope is an anachronistic term. We say pope. Really, they didn't call themselves popes. It's just the bishop of Rome. But you can see the first bishop of Rome was obviously Jewish, Peregrinus, right? Peregrinus, Hellenized Jew, Peregrinus. Peregrinus. So most of the we're getting close to the edict now, and you notice right at the edict, right here, 222, right here. So most of them, 3 out of 4 of them would have been Peregrinus, not a Roman citizen, and then after 222, this bishop right here. All of them are Roman citizens now. See, it says it right here, Constitutio Antoniana. So all of them after this are now Roman citizens. They now have rights. It's almost like they're all becoming, see, look, it says right here, Roman citizen of Greek descent from this. He would have been Peregrinus, is what it's saying. He would have been Peregrinus too, Constitutio Antoniana. He would have been Peregrinus, Constitution. That's why it says in the parentheses. These are all non-Roman citizens until after the edict. So then what happens is, another one right here, Constitutio Antoniana. These people now have rights. They now have a way to get into the Roman imperial cult. They're not like part of the Roman imperial cult yet, but they're one step closer. And that's what happens in the late 3rd century with Diocletian. He was like, these people need to get brought down a notch, because they're doing too much. They're not attending our sacrifices. They're burning down pagan temples. They're doing all types of. We need to knock them down a notch. So he laid down the edict of the persecutions, and anyways, the rest of the story is history. So, but I'm glad you brought this up. So, I got one more person joining us tonight before I close this out. Amanda Mendoza, a good friend of the channel for a long time. How's it going? You there?
Howdy.
How you
doing? Can you hear
Amanda?
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm all right. I figured I would just jump in real quick because I am very thankful that you did try to be respectful.
As much as I could, yeah. I could have did better at that, but yeah.
No, I mean, you have over time. I mean, I've said this before when I first started watching. it was really because of the guests. I'm sure that the algorithm pushed it, because of the content that I already looked into. So when I first started watching, it was because of the guests and the conversations, but it was really frustrating the way that you conducted yourself with these people. And that was always a thing from the beginning, but you have gotten a lot better. And I am thankful that you did your best to be as respectful as possible with Madalena. And I was really happy to hear Ashes come on because, she's looked into that stuff too. And you really should look into that woman whose name she mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted to mention a couple of things, which is one, I think the biggest trigger is like, well, I guess first I'll say is that for me, I'm coming from a place personally where I feel I have to try to be as unbiased as possible, even though I do come with my own things that I grew up with and was raised with, and even things I would rather believe, like nobody wants to believe bad things or negative things. And oh, well, at the end of the day, right? It's about what the truth is, not what you feel like believing,
Yes, yeah,
to
absolutely.
me,
Yeah.
So that's why, like, initially, I think what is working against everybody that is really trying to learn at the end of the day are trying to shed the biases. And the Christian bias is really hard. And it's like, it's either one way or the other, unfortunately, that is the loudest. It's either you are biased toward Christianity or not. Maybe because you're atheist, maybe because you never even experienced that, or maybe because you were hurt by Christianity, and then it's just really easy to go the whole opposite way because it feels good. It's an outlet, it's like, I get it, right? And like for me personally, I'm not going to really get into it very much, but I was born Catholic, so baptized as a little baby, but never, we went to church holidays. Never really saw anybody read the Bible except for my Native American grandpa's mom, who she was native, pure, and she was the only one I would see sit there and read it. And then as an adolescent, I went and lived with my supposed dad and my stepmom, and she was Southern Baptist. So then I ended up being around that. And my supposed dad that I went and lived with, I wasn't even there a year when, like, we were raided. This was in the barracks because he was a soldier. So the FBI had been watching him because he was a child molester and he was engaged on online activities. And his name is Jesus, like literally Jesus. And I was
like a Spanish way to say it, like Spanish.
Yeah, Jesus, and he went by Jesse, but so the name looks like Jesus, and so it's like a common thing that people will conflate it and everything, and even in the language too. I mean, you name a person that in homage, you know what I mean? So it's like double like offensive or whatever, and so for me, when I exited high school and into young adulthood, so he went to jail. My stepmom raised me as a single mom, as a Southern Baptist in Georgia. So I grew up with that still. And, as a young woman, I kind of put that on the back burner and then started researching the Creator God until my early 30s in all aspects, because I've always loved ancient history and religion. So there's a lot of myths out there. I can't catch up to them still to this day. I don't know if in my whole lifetime I will be able to know all the fucking myths. And that's what people take that for granted, I think. And then we want to argue about shit that we don't even have a grasp of enough background. You know what I mean? So that's like irritating. And so in my early 30s,
text from ever.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Exactly. Yeah.
So
why?
One lifetime to read it
So
all.
why argue until you can't fucking breathe over this shit? Especially for no reason. Like, what's your end goal at the end of the fucking day anyway? So when I was in my early 30s, I came back to the Christ in a wild hair, the Christ figure. and I looked into, okay, why did this person get arrested officially, right? This is before this whole child in the park thing. This was years before that, because I'm in my late 30s now. This is my early 30s. So I came back to the Christ figure. And so when I started looking into that, I took inventory of all the stories that I had heard in the past because of my, looking into ancient history anyway, in religion and all these fucking spin-offs of shit, you know what I mean? And how it relates, like with the Mithra and everything, you know what I mean? Like they are, at this point, me personally, when I first came across the Amon Hillman stuff because of you, being already an audience of you, like many people, I came in already having come to terms with, okay, there's a lot of different stories of the Christ figure. Look at this first fairy tale. He's a magical thing. Okay. Or maybe he was just a regular person and he didn't even die on the cross. He lived and then ran away and escaped. Or maybe him and Mary, they got married. Maybe him and Mary were married, or maybe something. Or maybe they went and had kids and actually there's still a bloodline somewhere, and look at all of this remnants here. And there's so many things, right? And then of course the gay Jesus. And I had to and this was at a time where I was still coming to terms with the whole thing, even in myself. Like, how gay am I? Let me be honest with myself about it. You know what I mean? I'm coming to terms with all of this. So then I have to look at the Christ figure and the beloved fucking apostle or disciple rather, like, is it a man? Is it a woman? So what if it's a fucking man? So I went through all of the scenarios, and at the end of the day, I was like, okay, the red letter teachings. This is, if I'm going to say I'm a Christian, because the reason when I first became a young adult, I was like, I'm not going to say I'm a Christian if I don't know what it fucking really means and I don't agree with every single aspect of it. And if this pastor on my graduation, for the graduation sermon for high school, the pastor is feeding me a story that the wine that Jesus turned from water to the wine was grape juice, like I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know what context clues are, dude. You know what I mean? So like, on a level, for well over a decade, I have been able to listen to someone and listen to what they're saying and take part of it and be like, yeah, I hear that. And then the other part and be like, okay, no, you're full of shit, but I get it. You have your own fucking agenda, right? Which is one reason why it's so annoying whenever I hear this whole, Ammonite shit. Like, why perpetuate sweeping people into labels and then further get into this nuance of divide of having to defend these weird nuances when, to me, at the end of the day, at first it was upsetting to hear the claims of Amon Hillman, especially because, like I said, when I first came across this stuff, I'm going in as this person that I'm like, oh, a red letter Christian. I didn't even know this is a thing, but actually it really is a thing. And people, really do kind of go hardcore about, oh, I just want to listen to these lessons and stuff like that. And then so I'm thinking, okay, this Christ figure is like a Buddha. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. And then I come across this man saying that he's a fucking pedophile. That shit really is inflammatory. Okay. But like the pastor telling me it's grape juice, that shit is inflammatory as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, right. People telling me about Jesus Christ, not understanding that the J is a recent development.
What you just said is exactly what I've been noticing over the last 10 years, is that everyone has their own version of Jesus that they see when they read the text. And
look at all the fucking denominations, and then cross country.
He's created in our own images when we read the text.
Okay, but listen, please.
Naked kids all the time. They're going to see naked kids.
Okay, listen to me, please.
$1.99 super.
Listen to. Sorry, the robot voice came on, but okay. So with the whole Amon Hillman aspect, right? To me, it's like I chalk it up to, okay, here's another theory. Yes, it's exaggerated. What is the point of it? Well, just like all of the other ones, it's to examine the weight of it and to, yes, go back and reflect on the history as it was written. And not only that, every year we come out and just have discovered more archaeological stuff that does fucking matter, because the truth is a lot of the archaeology shows remnants of true usage of different plants and whatever that equated to why they even wrote some of this stuff, which was depicting shit that you would only know under the influences of these different smokes, or because you consume this fucking this or that or the other. Like, it's a lot of things that you have to have background information on. In this day, I won't even have a conversation with someone, really. When I do find myself in a conversation with someone about things, I will let them know I have been looking into this stuff for over 10 years before I even will talk about it. How long have you been researching it? Because a lot of people don't even have basic background of ancient history, because a lot of people don't even know. But the shit is all related. And guess what? People really need to look into a lot of stuff. And sorry to divert again, but just to get back to the reason that Amon Hillman touching on the fact that people can and have been used in these ways in the past. Okay, the conversation is important because it's being done in this day and age now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And church stuff?
No, I'm talking about with our own political leadership, and yes, in the church leadership all around. And so that is why it's worth having the conversation, and then to remind again, like I said earlier, and then what? What's the point? So we have this conversation, and then what? And then not even to mention, how many years has it been? And the word gay has evolved in how many different ways in our own lifetime and in the lifetime of our parents? Would you say within 100 years, at least three different ways? Okay, so how are we going to have these arguments where we can't breathe over this over the word of neanos and how it does have its nuances?
That's
so
why
fucking what?
Yes, that's why I kept saying, let's look at these sources from the first century. That's why Philo's first century, Epictetus' first century, the Delos inscription was the first century BC. The other one, that's why I was like, these sources that I'm pointing you are from this time. They want to go to Hesychius. Hesychius is in 500 AD.
Okay, my point is that the from the time spans hundreds of years. Okay.
Yeah.
And guess what? And guess what? We are not gonna come to an agreement because we don't have enough evidence either way. We don't have enough evidence of literature or archaeological. We are never ever going to be able to say guarantee on a lot of these little nuances, especially when you get down. Okay. Especially when you get down into the fact of the Gospels themselves being written years after the fact, right? And like I said earlier, they are conflating several figures into one. As much as I would love to say, oh yes, there was one Jesus Christ figure, and this is his life from A to B, and maybe even C, and maybe D when he comes back through the fucking clouds. No, it's not that, okay? These different Gospels that we want to focus on, the four, plus there's a lot of different writings. So they have different nuances and variations because of the way people took it and ran with it a little bit. It became a little bit malleable, okay? Mm-hmm. The end. This is the age of enlightenment. The internet is more for trolling and pornography, okay? Let's just agree to what we can assess and what we can know, and then where do we go from here? Because guess what? There's bigger troubles right now than these fucking little arguments, especially if they're going nowhere. And it is really, like I said at the start, thank you for being as respectful as you could possibly keep it together. I really appreciate that. And I hope that everybody can keep on trying to do that and not get so caught up in the emotion of it, because the emotion is a result of our own biases, because we're caught up in these identities that we don't need. We can shed these things and move forward, you know what I mean, and take the good things and be honest about what we want and change it, because we're in a point of time where we need to reform a lot of things, so they're good conversations, but it's not good to perpetuate the ugliness. So that's all.
Okay,
in my opinion.
No, I think that's well said. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Talk to you. Talk to you later for sure. Thank you. Nathan's back. I do have a super chat, Nathan. Let me just read this one out.
Go to bed.
Chase the Face. Thank you for the 2. How do I call in? The link's set up. I do got to get going soon though. I got a couple more. I would say maybe 25 more minutes. I would say let's do. Because I do have an appointment in the morning. But yeah, I think you can jump in. Hopefully you can get in line after J Frog, after Nathan. Then we have General Commentary 777. Thank you for the 5. Hey Neil, have you ever looked into the etymology of Neokoros, symbol of the man in the temple used by the Roman imperial cult? Neokoros, like temple, was that temples something? What is it? Neokoros, temple sweeper, temple warden. I have to look into that. Huh. Let's see. There's a Wikipedia page for it. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Well, you paid $5. Might as well entertain, right? Neokoros.
Lost the audio.
Yeah. You lost my audio? You can't hear me, dude? Nathan, you can't hear me? Come back. Jump in and come back in again. That's weird. You keep dropping. Your audio keeps dropping out. Neokoros. This is something sort of new to me. I never really thought about what this is. Temple sweeper? Huh. Classical Greece. Neokoros belongs to the priestly class. Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe I should look into this more. Awards became very liberal under the Saturn dynasty, apparently seized as Gallienus. Huh. Some sort of priestly class here. I like this. Something I love learning from you guys. Look at that's Artemis on the coin. Look at that. That's how we know that the Artemis symbol looks. That's how you know it's ancient, because you can see it. It's got the 2 deers and the breast. Everyone always freaks out when you say breasts. They're like, no, it's eggs, or yeah. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. And let's see. Nathan, did you come back up? You good now? You there, Nathan? You can't hear me? I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me? All right. J Frog, what is going on, man? I got a couple minutes left tonight.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'll be quick. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually going off on you in the comments. Really, I'm not an Ammonite. I haven't watched an Ammonite video in like a year. My thing with you, is why do you care? I think I think I've told you this before. You made me a Gnostic. You made me go from an atheist point of view to more of looking at things from a different point of view. And so you're doing work. You got people who are coming on that are fans of yours or whatever. Like I said, I was being kind of going off on you in the
I don't care. That's fine. It's free. I'm totally open to criticism. I'd love to discuss it with you. But my thing is, I care about the truth. I think people should care about the truth, being objective, being honest, being taking our own personal bias and throwing it out the door when we do philology. That's the whole point. And Ammon knows this. He calls himself a philologist.
And I agree.
He profanes the word philologist.
I agree, no, but seeing like here's a good thing that I could point out. Like somebody asked you about Jay Dyer versus Ammon, right? And like you had a hard time deciding who do you like more. Or like Jay Dyer and people like Andrew Wilson, they're gaining power. Like Andrew Wilson is friends with a lot of people within the Trump administration. Andrew Wilson and Jay Dyer have an agenda that they want to implement, and they're getting power. And this idea of, because from what I gather, like you're very into like the Greek knowledge and the idea of Greek civilization and stuff like that. And I'm also very passionate about that. Like our system in America works because we based our whole nation on this idea of the Greek and Roman system. And like people like Jay Dyer or Andrew Wilson want to destroy that. They want to make this into a Christian nationalist.
That's a fair point.
And so like they're way more of a threat than Ammon.
But this is like the question without respect rather than who's more of a threat or who's doing more damage. More a respect. I can respect someone and I can know them from afar and disagree with everything they're saying and even think that what they're doing is harmful, but I can still have a level of respect for them. Okay. Whereas, and I look, you're right. It's hard for me to answer that question. I don't even know. Maybe I might even take back the answer, but I'm just saying, like, I don't have a lot of respect for Ammon Hillman. I just don't.
Oh, okay. I can agree with, like, I don't respect Ammon. Like, I'm like, if you were reading my comments and you probably thought I was Ammonite. I'm not. Like, I think he's crazy. He does come up with some. I think like I've always said, I've told this to Witch Doctor. I think he's playing a character. I think he's trying to get people to think a certain way, and he's being provocative, and he's trying with these bullshit theories, and he might believe it. Like you can be a Poe and you can start believing the shit that you're pretending is real. But I think he's trying to get people to look a certain way.
He's trying to get people to look at him a certain way as some sort of like genius, weird genius that has the tattoos and he's going against the grain. He's revealing all these secrets that the elites are hiding. It's a very powerful thing to do. You can get a lot of power doing that in this world, especially in this day and age with the internet. It's not always about money. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's about just having power over people and having them literally worship the feet that you walk on. That's better than currency sometimes.
I agree. And because like my thing, like I said, and I'll get off so I can let Chase or somebody else get on, but the way I look at the world, like I said, I don't know shit about the Gnostics, bro. Nobody really knows. Like we have their writings, we don't really know exactly what they stood for. But like the Gnostics didn't debate. They did, like a lot of people are like, oh well, the Gnostics they were secretive. The way I look at it is they probably were like, either you get the truth, either you're gonna see the logos or you're not gonna see the logos. It's not our mission to fight unless you're defending, like what you do against like Jay Dyer and those kind of people. But like the Ammonites or the Ammon people that come on here and you're just like cursing them out and like I don't know.
I'm actually trying to get more debates with Jay Dyer and them too. Actually, you're right. I think I should do more content about them and address them more. I think that's a very fair point that you're making, and I do want to do that. I do have a debate with Andrew Wilson lined up next month, actually, and this is that finally, because I've been trying to debate him out for a long time. We have these little debates, and it's never topics that I want. It's always like, can you defend, humanism versus Christianity? And I'm like, fine, I'll take that one on. But finally, finally got a debate where I get to choose. Actually, this is my idea. I said that the Christian God is the same God as the Islamic God and the Jewish God. And he's like, I was like, will you debate this with me? Because he says that they're all different gods. And I know they're all, it's the same fucking God. It's the same. Yeah. This is my Gnostic self coming back out. This is the Yaldabaoth, bro. And I'm going to finally have my performance with my something that I actually am passionate about. So
okay, that's coming. I think you'll do good. Like, my last point too is, like I really do think that like a lot of the people have been saying. Like you're really putting out some good information. Like I said, you changed my life. I do look at stuff from more of a Gnostic point of view, or more of like the logos, and I think a really cool thing too, that I don't see you talk about much more anymore is the golden bow ID. Because like it's a lot actually to read through, and I think it's brilliant. The way that like our ancestors came up with this idea of living forever from like the agricultural cult perspective.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the selection abridgment from Oxford, and it's pretty thick. But if you go back and look for like the old versions, it's like the volume after volume after volume. It's like the Talmud. That's how James Fraser.
So much.
I'm a Fraserian, dude. I am a Fraserian. That's my. If I have anything of Christian or Muslim or Judean, I'm a Fraserian, dude. I'm from the school of Fraser, dude. That is me all day.
And the thing, like, for me, I'm just like, even like if I was a like, I mean, I do look at myself as a Christian Gnostic, but if I was an Orthodox Christian, like, I would still be fascinated. Like, it's just brilliant, like how our ancestors came up with this. Like you plant the seed, it grows, and you reap it, and you weep for it because you're killing the god.
Yes,
and all. It's like it's so brilliant. And I'm just like, man, I would love to see more videos on that.
At some point after he dies, because he dies in 1941, at some point or after 1950s and 1960 and 1970, his work starts to get dissed a lot by these scholars, especially what's his name? Jonathan Z. Smith. Let me see if I can find him in here. They start to shit on his work, and then he was the consensus. His work, like he was teaching at Princeton, dude.
Yeah,
he was teaching at Princeton. He was the leading anthropologist and scholar in religions, and his work was the consensus all the way up until like 1960. I want to say, maybe a little bit longer, maybe up to 1970. And then what's his name? Jonathan Smith. Let me see. Is he really not mentioned in here? That's weird. You think his arch enemy would be mentioned here, but let me see if I can pull it up. Jonathan Z. Smith. This guy came along. This weird looking guy. For some reason, look, it looks like he's doing some weird pose. Like this guy comes along later in the 20th century, and his whole entire career is just shitting on James Fraser. His thesis focused on James Fraser. He basically saying Fraser's wrong. There's no dying and rising gods. They don't exist. And now, I'm not even kidding. His work was so influential. You can ask, look at preserved president of the SBL. So if you ask any Bible scholar that's related to the SBL, Dan McClellan, Bart Ehrman, they will all repeat the same thing. There is no such thing as dying and rising gods, blah, blah, blah. And then you can literally take them, grab them by their freaking heads, by their hair, pull Dan McClellan and say, look at the source, Plutarch, or here's the source from Diodorus. Here's the Bacchae, here's this. And then they'll go, well, it's different. It's different because the bodily resurrection and this, they just look for reasons why it's different. And I'm not saying they're not different. Nobody's saying they're different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Fraser's not saying they're the same. But it's just like the goalpost gets moved as soon as you present one. So what's her name? Let me see if I can go to James Dying and Rising God page. There is a scholar who I cite in my work all the time. She, if you go to the bottom of the Dying and Rising Wikipedia page, I think she's on here because of me, by the way, because somebody added her in here after my video about Dying and Rising Gods, and I was citing her, and all of a sudden I noticed, oh shit, she's in here now. She's literally being cited on. She's the last entry of the Dying and Rising God page. This made me so happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Happy to see this because now the tide is changing.
15 Israeli new shekels.
Thank you for the super chat. I'll get to you in 1 second.
Can I interview you to my channel? Want to draw more Hebrews to the topics and texts? Love your work. 4-leaf clover emoji. Asif the Israeli.
Thank you very much. I'll get to that in 1 second. Finally, see, look at Trygve Mediger supports the category of Dying and Rising Gods in 2001. That there was a scholarly consensus that the category is inappropriate. So he supports the idea. But he's like, he's sort of in the middle about it, right? 2009, Encyclopedia for Psychology really summarizes the scholar consensus as ambiguous. Some rejecting, some liking it, right? So all of a sudden, there's like this pushback against the old scholarship. The Bible scholars, though, the divinity school students, they have no idea that these scholars are coming back around to Fraser. They have no idea. It's like you can bring this up to them, they don't even care. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in 2010, Paula Carenti comes out and she drops a whole fucking dissertation saying, not only is Fraser right, he's more right than he thought he was. And not only that, Jonathan Z. Smith is wrong. Here's why. Now, I should be clear. I should give you a little bit of nuance. She does admit that he had some things wrong, and that some of his ideas were a little bit off. But she brings it back into the forefront, and she brings up the ball cycle and the Inanna, Ishtar, dying and rising stuff. There is literally, I'm not even kidding. There's Christian scholars out there who write, because there's a text from Ishtar, who she dies and she's dead for 3 days and 3 nights and then resurrects. There were Christian scholars for like 20, 30 years trying to say that this is not a dying and rising God. You guys aren't reading this right. Like, they were like trying to fight against this. And finally some Assyriologists came along and were like, no, you guys are wrong. This is a dying and rising God. So anyways, the point I'm trying to make is the tides are turning, and I'm happy to be a part of that turn.
Yeah, no, I think, because like I said, like I read The Golden Bow, and I had the audiobook, and like once you read it, it makes so much sense. Like you're seeing this evolution of, and it's all throughout the world. This is what I love about him, is he's like,
he shows the evidence.
Yeah, it's all throughout the world, and they're all thinking about this idea of like, we can live again, and it's through this agriculture and all this other stuff. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just showing people so that people watching can look this up if they want. I recommend it.
Yeah, it's good. And like I said, like, you're one of the few ones that have even made any kind of video on it. And I was just like, man, after reading The Golden Bow, I was like, man, I really wish there were more video just like talking about what he's talking about. And it's a lot, though. So I mean, I understand why a lot of people don't really touch it. But
yeah, I mean, it takes a lot to get through him, because he starts off, he doesn't get into the dying and rising gods in the beginning. He talks about magic.
Yeah, and that's another thing too.
Magic, and there's a lot he tries to lay everything out and what's going on, why it's called, like, and then once you get like halfway through, then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now we're getting into the meat of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, that's the funny thing too, is like you're reading him and you're like, where's all the, because you make it seem like, all of,
you're not gonna, it's not page one, that's for sure.
It's all about, he has a whole other
it's about magic, it's about ritual, it's about a lot of things, dude. Mostly magic and ritual.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you're doing good work, man. Like you probably go through the comments, you'll see me talking shit. But I mean, I was just, because I think you can do better, man. Like, I'm not saying necessarily let the Ammonites just do whatever they want, but like, I don't think you should be so upset by what Ammon says about you. Like he has his perspective, and I do think he's doing his part in his own weird way to bring people to the logos and to bring people to gnosis. And I think you're doing your own way. And I think both of you guys, like, you're more of that scholar that I need the sources. I need this, like, a more of an academic way, I should say. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I haven't seen his videos. I think
it's funny. I'm not even the one who has the PhD, and I'm more of a scholar than he is.
Yeah. But I'll get off just so I can I know Chase and other people wanted to.
Yeah, I got like 5 more minutes left, but I got I think there's 2 more people left. All right, man.
Okay, man. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, man. Nathan, are we finally able to hear?
God
Nathan?
Damn it, I lost the audio again. Motherfucker.
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Well,
you can hear me?
Email me, Neil. I'm sorry.
All right, I can hear you.
I lost
they heard
the
you
audio
swear.
as soon as
just so you know, they heard you swear. It's okay, though. I swear a lot, too. All right, man. I appreciate that. So, okay, we got one more guy, Marcelo. What's going on, man?
Hey, thank you, Neil.
Let me just read this last super chat real quick, and then I'll get your thoughts. Asphal, thank you for the super chat. Neil, can I interview you on my channel? Want to draw more Hebrews to these topics and text? Absolutely. You got my email. It's on my channel. I'll check it out. We'll talk. We'll go from there. Appreciate you. I love to bring the message to the world, baby. Let's do it. Love it. Thank you for that. And there's one more after that from Chase the Face. Well, F a doc. I can't find the link. Oh shit! It's it's posted.
At Chase the Face dropped $1.99 super chat.
It should be tagged on the top of the link. So it should be on there. Oh, maybe you're on the Chase. Check the other stream. There's a phone stream and there's a bigger stream. It's on the bigger stream. I apologize about that. Anyways, Marcelo, what's going on?
Hey, I wanted to touch the topic of Africanis and the story of Susanna. If I was wondering if you think that there may be any other books in the Septuagint that might in fact be of original composition. So not the original, the entire thing on Greek, but some books.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I think so Sirach is one that's heavily debated. We don't have the original Hebrew. So even if there was original Hebrew, we lost it. I think it was written in Greek first. But I'm the last person to have authority on it. I'm literally just basing this off the evidence that we have. The oldest one we have seems to be the Greek. So I just think that's what happened. I think because in the beginning of Sirach, he's like, I'm translating what my uncle wrote, my uncle Jesus, and he said this stuff in Hebrew, and I'm going to give you the Greek, and it's going to be exactly what he says. It's like a little prologue, and I think it was a fabricated prologue. I think it was written in Greek because we only have the Greek. So I'm not the type of person. I want to see the evidence. I don't care what the text says. It could say a whole lot of shit. Like Isaiah is writing about events in the 7th century BCE. That doesn't mean it was written then. People can write things later about a certain time, even put themselves in that position. So I think that's what happened with Sirach. Let me see. Let me look at the list of Old Testament books, and then and Apocrypha. So you have, let's see, you have Genesis. Okay, I think the whole Torah is Hebrew first. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Hebrew. Joshua, Hebrew. Judges, Hebrew. Ruth, Hebrew. 1st and 2nd Samuel, Hebrew. 1st and 2nd Kings, Hebrew. 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Hebrew. Ezra, Hebrew. Nehemiah, Hebrew. Esther's weird. When you look at the Septuagint version of Esther, it doesn't really line up with the Hebrew. It doesn't look like it's translating one from the other. It looks like they're both coming from a common source. I wouldn't be surprised if Esther might have some weird Greek thing going on, but for now, I'm just going to say Hebrew. Job, Hebrew. Psalms, Hebrew. Proverbs, a whole bunch of shit. I think Proverbs, we're going to take a proverb by proverb to figure that one out. Mm-hmm. Ecclesiastes, Hebrew. Song of Solomon, Hebrew. Isaiah, Hebrew. Jeremiah, Hebrew. Lamentations, Hebrew. Ezekiel, Hebrew. Daniel, mostly Hebrew with some Aramaic and some Greek. Hosea, Hebrew. Joel, Hebrew. Amos, Hebrew. Obadiah, Hebrew. Jonah, Hebrew. Micah, Hebrew. Nahum, Hebrew. Habakkuk, Hebrew. Zephaniah, Hebrew. Haggai, Hebrew. Zechariah, Malachi, Hebrew. And then you have Tobit, which I believe is originally Hebrew. And then there's a Greek version of that. And that survives in there's a Greek version of that is also weird. It's like maybe there's a different original that it came from, but it's clearly Hebrew. I think it's Hebrew. It's just Hebrew. Tobit's Hebrew. And then it's in the Dead Sea Scrolls too, by the way. So it's like, okay. What else? What's the other ones that I have? Wisdom of Solomon. That's a Hellenistic text. I think it was written in Hebrew first, but I think it's heavily Greek inspired. So Alexandrian Jewish. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a different wisdom text. Wisdom of Solomon is the Greek one. Is Greek. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a Greek text. I'm sorry. Wisdom of Solomon is a Greek text. Wait, what am I thinking of again? The other one was I'm thinking of Sirach. Sirach. That's Greek. Wisdom of Solomon, Greek. Baruch. That's the one I'm thinking of. Baruch. That one I think is also Hebrew. And it's the Hebrew, the Greek version survives better than the Hebrew ones, but there's 1st Baruch, 2nd Baruch, 3rd Baruch, and 4th Baruch. And I think all of those, I think one of them's like Greek, the other one's like Ethiopian or something. I think 4th Baruch is originally Greek too. So, and then you have Bel and the Dragon, Greek, Susanna, Greek, 1st and 2nd Maccabees. I think those are also Greek, by the way. Maccabees. think those are written in Greek by Alexandrians. First Esdras, Hebrew. Third Maccabees, I think that one's Hebrew. Fourth Maccabees, that might be a Greek one too. Let me see. Fourth Maccabees, yes, written in Koine Greek. So there's quite a bit of original Greek Bible books. I named like 5 already, right? Something like that.
Yeah. I
Psalm
think
51
a little bit
Greek
less than
too.
I would have expected.
Less? Yeah. By the way,
Ammon usually says that, or usually brings up the idea that there is some kind of augmentation on the Greek side of the concepts, right? And that's why the Hebrew would be not the original. How do you deal with those phenomena? I would say that there is in several parts where it does look like they are not. It doesn't look like they are translating.
And which book you're talking about?
In a couple. One example that Ammon has touched is in Amos, regarding the Christ, especially, right? That in Hebrew the word thoughts is used, but in the Septuagint is Christ, right? Christon. So those things are unusual. I do think I have seen also.
Why would that be unusual? That's exactly what you should find for Amos. You know,
it's like what do you mean? Should I expect the Hebrew? Sorry,
should say Messiah, and then the Greek
translator. No, they don't use the word Messiah, I believe.
Oh, that's what you're saying. It doesn't. What do you remember what verse you're talking about? Is it Amos 9?
Amos, I believe it's chapter.
Because I know in Amos 9 it mentions the Messiah. Amos 3?
No, I believe it's chapter 4. Just a second. I believe I have it nearby.
Because I know Amos 9 mentions the Messiah. It says, or no, it doesn't mention the Messiah. It says, I will raise up a tabernacle that David. Okay, maybe not. Oh yeah, find out which one you're talking about.
I believe it's chapter 4 in the verse.
Maybe Amos
the last
4?
verse.
Last verse of Amos 4. Okay, let's do this. Let's share my screen. So right here. Oh, here it is. Christone right here. It's Christone. So we were talking. Okay, so this is interesting. It's like Kai Evangelion. This is his famous Evangelion.
Yeah, Evangelion as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, wait a minute. So, for behold, he who formed. I'm just looking at what the translation says real quick. So it says, "For behold, he who forms the mountains and creates the wind and declares a person who are right in his thoughts. He treads on the high place." So there's nothing about a Messiah here. You're right. I'm looking at the Hebrew
instead.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Hebrew to see if there's anything about a Moshiach or anything about being anointed or anything like that. I don't see it. So you have Harim Roach. That's the spirit, the breath or wind. Roach. That's where that word wind comes from. And then I think it's going to be pneuma right here. See, that's the translation.
And the declares to a person is Kai Apangelon.
Yeah. So there's Yahweh, Yahweh, Hella. Okay.
What are his
right here it says Shemo, and then so it doesn't. Yeah, there's no mention of an anointed. So what is going on here? So let's take a look at this passage right here. Kai Evangelion, Eis Anthropous Ton Christon Atu. So it says, and Kai Evangelion, proclaiming or announcing. I think that's what the word is. I don't know why it's using Evangelion instead of Evangelion. But then it says, Eis Anthropous, to men, to man, to mankind, Ton Christon Autu, to Christ of anointed, or to Christ of him, to Christ, his Christ, or something like that. So, and announcing to mankind. So this is interesting. This isn't one of these. There's a lot. I talked to Russell Gmerkin about this. There's a lot of cases in the Greek where it doesn't match up with the Hebrew at all, and we don't even know where they got this from, or there's a different version floating around. Mm-hmm. This is what's happening right here, because this right here, it says right here, it literally like this word right here, this sentence right here, kai evangelion eis anthropos ton Christon autou. It literally doesn't, the whole and announcing to mankind the Christ, right? That there's nothing in here that says anything close to that. It doesn't say anything about Christ or I guess the word declare, which would be evangelion, declare, something like that.
But it does seem very specific in the Greek. As far as I understand, the difference between apangelion and epangelion is the prefix, like apo and epi, right?
You know what a lot of people think about these when you find stuff like this? A lot of people think this is a later Christian interpolation because they're trying to make it sound more Christian. That could be what's going on here. I have to look more into it, but I'm glad you brought this to my attention. I'm going to look into it more.
I might also mention in Amos, in chapter 7, in verse 7, this might be a little bit less explicit, but in chapter 7, in verse 7 as well, there is the use of, or the description of seeing like God standing next to a wall with like a plumb line. But in the Greek, it's using the word adamas and adamantinu. So it's like it's talking about something different as well. It's not being like a lead plumb line. It's something indestructible. It's like a different concept, it seems to me. So if you're going to check chapter 4, maybe also check chapter 7 on verse 7.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at that. That's a fascinating passage. My guess, my knee-jerk reaction, looking at the Hebrew, looking at the Greek, one's not a translating the other. That's a fact. Even if you wanted to say the translation of the Hebrew is a translation, that's not going on there. It looks like the Greek side is coming from a different source, or they interpolated it, or they added this verse to sound very Christian. Oh, the good message of the Christ one. Like it sounds like a Christian got a hold of this and added their own bullshit.
Like, aha, you see, it was prophecy.
Oh, they're pointing to the Christ the whole time.
Right there.
This is very common, by the way. It happens all over the place in the Septuagint. So,
well, yeah,
anyway.
I have more examples, but I know that you probably have to go.
Yeah, I gotta get going. I'm a little past my bedtime.
This was great.
I got an appointment in the morning, so thanks for jumping on, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a great one.
And you have just attained true gnosis.